It's a very touchy subject to talk about, the loss of a loved one. That's one thing us all as humans have in common, and that's the ultimate end, death. And I think everyone, no matter what walk of life you come from, no matter what your belief system is, I think that everyone has a thought process about death. And is there a consciousness after death? In order for us to step out of the shadow of pseudoscience, we have to open ourselves up to scientific scrutiny. We have to go to professionals from other technical industries, people that are experts in equipment that are used in those technical industries. And by us throwing away garage tech, by us throwing away equipment built for paranormal research, we are trying to take that next big step.
The last 2 years, we haven't had anybody operating in the third floor. Just empty. No one ever went up there for any reason. And there would be occasions where I would leave. We always left all the doors open. And I would come in the next day and all the doors would be shut. Not just the outer doors of the hallway, closet doors, every door would be shut. Immediately, his body temperature dropped, shivers all over his body. That was pretty wild.
So the Speed Mansion has a lot of really interesting history, and the interest for me really picks up with the first owner, who's Dexter Belknap. And he was his contractor, made a lot of money, and his life isn't all of that interesting except for one article that I found where he hosted a very well-known spiritualist here in the home. And it's the only place that I've done research on in Old Louisville that actually has ties to spiritualism. I have no idea if he himself was a spiritualist, but you have to kind of assume he might have been if he was willing to play host to a well-known spiritualist. And then of course you have J.B. Speed, who ends up purchasing the home. His first wife's last name is Coffin. They have a really long, beautiful marriage, and she actually ends up dying in the home. They have the funeral in the home. And then he remarries a year later, which isn't all of that, unusual for that period, but he was way later in age, and he marries Hattie Bishop, who was also way later in age. So I think it really might have been true love, like they wanted companionship, and she just ends up being this incredible woman.
My name is Andrew Cousins. I am an assistant professor at KICAD, and for a while I was head of facilities here at the mansion. My experience has been on the third floor. So the last 2 years we haven't had anybody operating in the third floor. We were all mainly in the first and second floor, so the third floor was mainly storage and just empty. No one ever went up there for any reason. So we always left all the doors open every night. And there would be times where I would be the last one gone and I would be up there, the doors are open, nothing to report. And I would come in the next day and all the doors would be shut. Not just and this is on the third floor, not just the outer doors of the hallway, closet doors, every door would be shut. And so, of course, I would put on my investigative hat and wander around. It's like, okay, where's the gust of wind coming from? Nowhere. I'll check the tapes to see who came in at night to work and is playing a prank. Nothing on the tapes. And so I have no explanation for that, but the doors would just shut randomly at night, and all of them. No explanation, and I still haven't figured out why. I was also having, part of what I was doing is setting up a room, so if we had a visiting artist or a visiting professor in town, they would stay at the mansion while they were here. And so I was the one coordinating with them and setting them up and all that stuff. One in particular stayed after his first night, and so this is where I would get a lot of the reports. And so after his first night here, he's heard about the house being haunted, he's heard about Hattie Bishop Speed, and so the first night he was here, he was brushing his teeth in the bathroom right by where her stage used to be, right down the hall here. And he brushed his teeth, was ready to go to bed, and he said, I was just joking around and said, "Good night, Hattie." And he said, immediately his body temperature dropped, shivers all over his body, goosebumps, and he said, "I've never felt like that. I don't know, it was random. It wasn't cold, it was actually warm." And that was one of them. And then I think a couple nights later, because he was here for, I think, 2 weeks, he was staying in the bedroom right across the hall there, and he was, you know, the way he described it is when he sleeps, he turns his phone off and sets it next to his bed. And he woke up early in the morning to the sound of his phone playing music. And he said, it's never happened before, it's never happened since. Something or someone turned on his phone, opened up his music app, and was playing music while he woke up. And of course my question was like, well, what were they playing? And he said, well, funny enough, it was classic piano. And so he said when that happened, he just turned white and just laid there for a while and didn't leave the room because he doesn't even listen to piano music. So those were two of the wild ones that I heard. And then of course you hear people being here at night, hearing piano late at night, you know, faintly in the distance and stuff like that. So, but the one with the opened app playing piano music when the phone was off, that was pretty wild.
My name is Alice Alt, and my affiliation with the Speed Mansion is that I am the Vice President of Advancement and Fundraising for the Kentucky College of Art and Design. When I interviewed for the Kentucky College of Art and Design, and I originally saw that it was in this home, and I'm driving down through Louisville, understanding that I'm relatively new to the community, I thought, is this in a house? And as I drove up, and I was absolutely just gobsmacked by the beauty of it, I felt a call from the home. I felt like I was supposed to be here. I felt as though I'd known of this home. And as I walked up to the home and I rang the doorbell, I noticed it said, JB Speed. This is important for me because the town that I lived in prior to moving here, I worked with the Speed family. They had moved to Arkansas. Not only did I work with the Speed family, I worked with the brother of Marilyn Speed, who married a J. Breckenridge Speed. To go further, not only did I get to work with the Speed family and become very close with the descendants of the Speed family, one of the Speeds named their daughter Hattie. One night I was here relatively late, not really realizing the time, and so I looked up from my computer and I walked outside and of course said hello, and nobody was here. But like my name, Alice, I really am curiouser and curiouser, so I decided to do a little walkabout. And as I walked out into the foyer upstairs, up into the landing area, I felt some chills, and I kind of smiled and said, okay, let's go. And so I started opening up some drawers, and I walked downstairs and around and really felt it up there in that space. Came downstairs and went into the library, because I'd never really been, just quickly looked in when I originally started working here because there were classes, students were in the classrooms. However, that evening I walked into the room and I walked up into the balcony and just was overcome with chills, but not in a bad way, in sort of a knowing way, you know? And so then I walked over and put my hand on the piano. I had no idea if this was Hattie's piano. I had no idea if this was something she had played before, but felt that same sense of chills, emotional connectivity, I guess, for lack of a better word. And then walked out with another big smile on my face. And I noticed that when I walked out into that area, there's a hallway leading out from the library, which is where she taught music and all of the things. And it just immediately got very, very cold. Now, granted, it was cold that day, I understand that, but it got very, very cold. And I went about my way.
Denise, just go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know your relationship with the Speed Mansion.
Sure. I'm Denise O'Donnell. I'm originally from Glasgow, Scotland, so came over to the US in 2008, about 14 years ago. Played college soccer, and then sort of ended up in Louisville finishing an internship for my master's, which led into sort of different sectors and working my way up to the Chief Financial Officer here at the Kentucky College of Art and Design. And so spend most of my week here, you know, doing some work and some financial stuff. stuff, but also have a spiritual practice on my own. So I'm known as the Scottish medium on social platforms.
Oh, the Scottish medium.
Yeah.
Okay, so instantly, the first question I want to ask you is, are you familiar with and do you know more about the original owner, Dexter Belknap, and the fact that he hosted one of the most famous spiritualists in the home? Do you know about that?
I've read up on the history of the building. Naturally, just as more of an investigator myself, I was pretty curious and kind of followed the story back, which I always think is interesting to see that what we do, and while it's often described as something that there's a huge skepticism around it, right? It's like you can't see it, so therefore that doubting Thomas element comes in for people, and so it really stems back all the way from years ago. It's not as if people just make it up on the internet now. It's just that the message can travel faster.
So I'm really curious, just because we've been seeing this come up a lot, do you feel like there's any part of you that felt drawn here because of a spiritualist, kind of not, I don't know if you identify yourself as a spiritualist, but having a spiritual background and that work you do, and this place does potentially have ties to spiritualism, do you feel any connection with the building because of that?
Something seems to pull me back, and I've never really been sure what that was, so it might just simply be the tie to spiritualism. I mean, it's certainly an experience, and I think now that as we sort of grow and expand in this building, we see lots of the things become more prominent, right? Because there's more people, activating the space, so that we are energy, right? We are simply just energetic. So when someone's in a space and activates it, we feel that more now, I think, like we've started to move into the third floor. We do have people that work in the backspace of the building, and so as that energetic field continues to sort of be a catalyst for the people in here, I think we feel more and more of their selves coming back and being present in this space. This building is something that you get to come to work and feel like you're at home. And for me, it makes me feel comfortable to be in here. It doesn't scare me. It might scare some others, but I quite enjoy just knowing that there's other people with us here in the space.
Well, it was a very well-loved home, right? You had, Dexter Belknap, who lived here, went ahead and sold it to James Speed with his first wife, Cora Coffin,
right,
who would pass away in the home, and her funeral was held in the home.
Right.
The interesting thing about that story to me is, all the emphasis is put on his second wife, but he had a first wife,
right,
who did live and die here.
Yeah, not many people think about that part of the story.
It's kind of heartbreaking to me because, this is really Hattie's home, because we all think about it as being Hattie's home. We're sitting in this incredible library that was her recital hall because she was this incredible pianist. But, he did have a first wife.
Right.
And so I think for myself personally, I feel like maybe, oh God, what if it's Cora that's here and it's not Hattie, and she's like, no, it's me. As a person that does, work in this realm, have you ever sensed somebody specifically or had experiences yourself?
The music rings throughout the building, and it's really only if you're here late and the space is still that it's not there's two pianos in this space, yet the pianos are not being played, but the music is playing. And on our alarm panel, when you look at our alarm panel, if you're trying to exit the building and activate the panel, it will say motion in library, and there's nobody here. And the only way a motion sensor can be set off is motion. And you have to come back here and say, hey, can you let me out the building? I'm leaving. And then it will stop, and you can set the alarm panel. But right now you can't set it because there's motion in the library. And so it's kind of like you have to come in and really watch the space and say, hey, I'm trying to go if you would let me, but please stay still for a second.
And what do the students here experience?
Well, I think for me personally, naturally, I've been around when the music has been playing. Because at first I had no idea and hadn't really read up on the history. I was just traveling back and forth and knew I had a ton of work to do. So I was sort of focused on running on that hamster wheel. And then all of a sudden, a few nights in a row, I kept hearing the music going, that's lovely. I mean, it was really enjoyable. It was pleasant, right? Because I'm like, that's amazing. One of the students must be playing the piano. Well, nobody was here. So it did make me feel a little crazy at first because I was like, I mean, mean, how do you tell that to your new boss, right? And how do you go, hey boss, I'm hearing the piano, right? Especially when you've come in with an executive role to be doing numbers, people don't really tie those together. And so, you know, my work and my spiritual life is slightly separate, because, I mean, you know, you're dealing with budgets and stuff. People are like, you're not talking to other people about our budget, are you? And so, no, you know, it's something as we, as, you know, sort of mediums have to practice to be in our own space and be able to turn it on and off when we need to, simply to, you know, give us the ability to live, right? And not have all these people talking in your ear all day. But we did experience a lot on the third floor. We had a visiting artist here, I think 2 summers ago. It was the summer prior to the pandemic, or right as the pandemic hit, because he ended up staying in the space for a little bit longer. And the thermostat upstairs just turns above 100 degrees. It's insane. And the person in that room does not like it, whether it is from lights to sort of HVAC, to doors being locked and unlocked. The third floor, and he called me and he was like, look, Denise, I don't know what's going on, but the HVAC's not working. Well, the HVAC people are like, there's nothing wrong with the HVAC. We've got no idea why the thermostat's doing this. But there was a few other things. You know, he had opened the windows to try and obviously cool down, because it was 100 degrees in the height of the summer. So, but that, and then sort of dragged in a flock of dead crows. So then we had the crows that would come in the windows, and they were just, you know, they would die. It was like so bizarre. And so, I mean, he had a lot of experiences in that space, and he was like, at one point, he's like, look, I think we have to sage and cleanse this. And so we did, you know, we went around, and it seemed to take the activity down slightly, but as people again start to begin to work daily on the third floor, we're seeing a little bit of the things start to happen again. Because our third floor wasn't full, right? We've just sort of expanding as we need, and now that space is starting to have people in it every day again, the weird things begin to occur. As I was cleansing the space, to me it was a young boy that was in there. I still think it's a young boy, and I mean, he feels like he passed young, and because I think a lot of the things he does is kind of mischievous, right? That's what it feels like. He's not trying to really push someone out of the space per se, but he's like, haha, you know, now you're roasting, good luck, you know, or haha, your lights are off and now you gotta walk from your desk over there to turn them back on. It doesn't feel malicious, although it can get pretty annoying, I'm sure, to the person trying to work there, or, you know, at that time it was a living space, and so the poor person was having all sorts of weird things happen as he was staying here.
So earlier when we were setting up, I walked up to this landing, and the woman that occupies this office walked out and stopped me, and she was like, hey, I just want to tell you, I don't usually talk about this stuff, but the last few days you guys have been here, I've been having really weird shit happen.
What?
She's like, none of my electronics are working, nothing's going right in the office as far as electronics and just things happening. It's not a negative thing, but I will say that I don't talk about this stuff normally, but I think that she's happy you're here. That's what she said.
Awesome.
Yeah, she said she. And so she said she's very excited for us, and that she thinks that it's going to be very eventful. So that was cool.
Awesome. I think as many people that work here that are constantly talking about wanting to see her and wanting us to find, you know, proof of Hattie, I think a lot of that is, you know, kind of keeping the legend alive in this house.
So I think that we'll get Kevin and Malia in the library first, and Mustafa and I will go to the third floor and check it out and look into this crazy story about that artist that was staying here and having the HVAC going crazy, going up to over 100 degrees at one point. The dead crows, I mean, that whole thing sounds like a band, but it was a real thing that happened. But it's gonna be crazy. So I think you guys down in the library. Malia and Kevin headed to the library to investigate the claims of ghostly piano music ringing through the building late at night.
So I also have the Kestrel drop, the environmental data logger. I'm gonna set it right here on the piano keys, and I can monitor real time on the pad, the temperature, the station pressure, and the relative humidity. So for this season, I wanted to do something a little bit different and see if I could source some other equipment that we could use that is not related to or not made in any way for paranormal investigation. So I reached out to the National Weather Service, you know, who else is going to do better at environmental data than them? And they recommended a brand that they use that is called Kestrel. So I got in touch with Kestrel and was able to get a hold of what they call a Drop 3, which is about the size of a key fob, but it's environmental data logger. It'll log temperature, barometric pressure, humidity, all that kind of stuff in real time to where you can monitor it via an app. Thank you for allowing us to come into your house. I hope that we're welcome here.
We're gonna be on our best behavior, I promise. At least Kevin and I are. I can't speak for Mustafa.
Nope, he's on his own.
When I was talking with Andrew Cousins before, Brandon, so we were talking with, he's a professor here, and he used to work in facilities, so he was here for 4 years. And he said that when he was up here, all the doors were opened after they had been shut. And then other days, like, the doors will be left open and they'll be shut and there'll be nobody who have been in here.
Right.
So he said that he went and he like investigated and he looked into it. He couldn't find any reason as like any practical explanation for why that happened. But when I asked him, I'm like, hey, were you like always like a believer in like the paranormal stuff like that? He's like, no, but then I kind of saw his like face change a little bit. He's like, you know what? I said, what? He's like, I've had a lot of experiences of like strange things in the past 4 years. And he goes, and it all started like when I started working at Speed Mansion, and it would happen outside of here too. Really? And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And I could see, he's like, you never see the coals burning in someone's head, and like they never like thought about that before? Yeah. And I was like, oh, snap, dude. Maybe Hattie's getting into people, man.
Hattie, if you're here, I hope this isn't all a little bit too much. I hope we're not intimidating you in any way. There's a lot of us here. We're being as respectful as we can of your beautiful home. This place has lived so many lives and so many people have gone through its walls. Like, that's the other thing too, we have to like wonder. It's like, again, people believe it's a female presence and they hear piano playing, right? So they believe it to be Hattie, which if you want to look at the facts, she passed away here, lived here, loved it, made this place what we all know today. But when you have the amount of students coming through these walls that you did, especially when she was running it as a school, you have to wonder, like, could it also be somebody that came here and learned to play piano? Or maybe the best time of their life was spent here. Maybe it was a female student.
I mean, right now I'm feeling pretty comfortable in here. I feel like I could easily lay on the couch and take a nap. I don't feel...
Yeah, I don't think there's...
I don't feel heaviness. I don't feel...
I felt heaviness when I first walked in, to be honest, but I haven't felt it in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I don't feel heavy. I don't feel like I'm being watched. I don't feel like... I just feel... comfortable.
I will say, Mustafa, if you come over here and look at these doors.
Yeah.
Look at this. These doors locking. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not gonna do it by itself, man. Look at, even like it's got the old, look at this, the old hinges.
Dude, even this, just this, it's not gonna open by itself. This ain't janky at all.
And look at this, like old, I mean, it's solid. Look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't accidentally gonna lock themselves.
Nah.
There's no way.
Nah.
I mean, look at these solid handles, like you said, look at this. I mean, it's very solid. Original hardware, but it's...
Still good.
It works.
They don't make them like they used to.
It's true. It's true. I keep seeing you look out there. You want to go out there or what?
Yeah. We just split up.
Mustafa and I split up to emulate the experiences employees have at the Speed Mansion when they are in the building alone.
Hello? Is anybody here?
I mean, this is the time that people say they don't like being in here by themselves.
Yeah, which is interesting because I don't know, like I truly wonder if it's because there's something going on here or if it's just they're in an 18,000 square foot, 48 room home by themselves that follows no, classical house structure. Like there's hallways where there shouldn't be hallways, windows where there shouldn't be windows. Like it's unnerving being here because it's unexpected.
While Mustafa worked isolated, I monitored activity from the nerve center, unaware I'd experienced something that would change the course of our investigation. The hell? What the hell? Dude, I just heard a kid in here.
Where you at? Mustafa's on his way up to you now.
Who is that? Mustafa.
Hello? Okay, this is weird. Hello? Is there anybody up here?
Clear as a bell, sitting here at Nerve Center, I heard a kid, I mean, right about where David's standing, our cameraman, I mean, twice, very loud. I mean, it has to be on this Nerve Center camera right here. It's got to be on our audio devices. It was so loud, so loud.
Gnarly up there, dude.
What?
Dude, gnarly up there.
What do you mean?
Go up there, see if you feel anything, dude. But like, walk in that area where we first started.
All right.
Way different. You want to bring the EDI up there?
I'll take the EDI.
So this thing is like, obviously we don't want to like rely on our feelings, and that's why we go so nuts with like setting up all of our devices and our equipment. But a lot of times, like if you've been doing this a long time, you can get a sense. I don't know, it sounds arrogant, or like, I'm not saying like a medium or something, or anybody is here, but there's a vibe. That's Brandon. There's a vibe, like something happens and you get that feeling, and that feeling,
Here to say hi.
I don't know what it was, but like when we were here earlier, when we came here during the day, it was just heavy. It was very heavy. And it's something special when you're walking in, especially with like Brandon and I, and we both immediately just like looked at each other like, ooh. Didn't have to say
Motion
anything.
detector here.
But upstairs now, and I guess that's why we were so frustrated, it's because we thought that we would have that feeling. We were looking for that experience. Went up there, didn't feel anything, even like completely by ourselves in parts of the building, but I don't know what it was. Like now, something about it. That has to be him turning that doorknob. Did he turn that doorknob? Yeah, we have it recorded. I gotta ask him. He's getting freaked out up there. Heard that?
that's, yeah.
Vibe? Hey, did you turn that doorknob on that door?
What?
Did you turn that doorknob on that
I
door?
went past it.
But did you turn it?
I don't know, I might have bumped it, I don't know.
Because the door.
What do you mean?
The doorknob turned and this thing went inside.
What do you mean?
I mean,
Right after you walked
someone turned the doorknob and that lock mechanism went in. It's recorded, dude.
I went past the door and like hit it.
All right, I'm gonna go walk past it and hit it, and then you tell me if
Well, wouldn't you see someone's hand grab it? What do you mean?
dude, the doorknob.
The other side.
No, the doorknob turned, and the lock mechanism goes
Hold
on the
on.
inside.
What the hell
Dude,
was that?
I don't know.
You heard that, right?
It was,
I got like, dude,
me too.
I'm like, I got like, my back is like.
It was crazy up
chills.
there now. That's the feeling we had when we first came in, when we were during the day. And now it's not there. I mean, and then before, when we first started the investigation, it wasn't there. Now it just turned, dude. What happened?
I gotta take a like. I'm like.
Yeah, take a seat.
Do you feel foggy in your head a little bit?
Yeah, big time, dude. That's why I told you to go up there. I just wanted to see if like I wasn't crazy. But like, you went up there and it was
Oh,
vibey,
instantly.
right?
Like
Yeah.
as soon as I hit like when I was going up this flight, fine. I got to that second flight, I was like, just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Motion detector here. As I exited the room and headed down the hall towards the staircase, we captured a phenomena that defies explanation. Right here, okay? Hello?
There's this really, really salacious ghost story, and it's kind of one that's repeated a lot, you know, across different cultures, and it's that of the woman who felt like she wasn't good enough, you know, for her husband or lover's like previous lover. And it's the story of Hattie. Hattie was a very, very well-respected and acclaimed concert pianist. What's really cool about that is the fact that her legacy and her love for music and art is alive and well here at Speed Mansion. And how cool is it that students get to study in this badass haunted house? It's like, oh, you're doing, you know, a book report or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't remember college that much. It's all a haze. But whatever it is that they're doing, and they're doing their work, they're doing it in a place that has purported haunted claims. And a lot of the students say that they've encountered activity that many people attribute to Hattie. I mean, we were talking to the president of this school earlier, and she says, oh, it's like, I hope you can find evidence of Hattie here. I mean, she says it. This is like an official person who's like on payroll and everything. She's not some kooky ghost guy by the dumpster being like, oh man, this place is haunted. She's a legitimate, bona fide professional who says that. And that to me is very, very cool. So walking through these halls and checking out different places, I know enough not to put a bunch of credence in feelings, but Brandon and I have been on enough investigations together where we start to become more attuned to our feelings, and we notice that we're able to document really weird environmental changes and visual anomalies and audio anomalies around that same time.
The story of Hattie is so romantic and so beautiful, and she would ultimately end up also dying in the home. And what I love most about the history and the life of the home now is people really want it to be Hattie that's here. They want it to be her that's playing the piano music that people hear coming from the old recital hall. I also hope it's her, because I really do think she loved it here. And I have to wonder, you know, a home this big, I mean, and it's massive, to live here all by yourself, because her husband would die before she would die, so she was here all by herself. You have to really love a home a lot to stay in a home this large by yourself. So I think that says a lot.
Yeah, Old Louisville is strange. It's a place that during the day feels pretty pleasant, depending on which block you're on, you know, because it kind of really depends on the block. But man, the vibe here changes significantly at night.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so imposing. You just have all these dark stone homes that look awesome during the day, and you're like, oh, I want to live there. And at night, you're like, no, I don't. No, I don't. It's a murder house. I like murder houses. During the day, pleasant, very nice. Want tea in them, but nighttime, different story. American Horror Story.
Old Louisville, which is one of the most haunted cities in America.
Which is.
Very comfortable. The only thing we've had so far is about a 5-degree temperature drop since we came in here. It was 77.8 whenever we came in. We're at a 72.6 right now.
All right, great. Keep us posted on if anything happens further.
Will do, yeah. Right now it just seems it's very comfortable. No sense of being watched, no sense of heaviness. Just very relaxing. Which a lot of times that's when we pick up the most activity.
I know, you just never know.
Hey Kevin, we're having some pretty weird stuff happen up here, so if you and Malia want to head back up to Nerve Center, we'd like to send you guys up to that 3rd floor.
Copy that.
I gotta go see what that angle. Let's go look what that angle of the GoPro looks like.
Please.
Yeah, let's go look at it real quick.
Brandon, that's what they do. They mess with doors and they lock doors.
That's right. So I went past it and then I leaned in like this at one point when I came in.
Did you turn the handle?
Well,
No, when you came in. I'm talking after you left.
even if I did, hold on. Even if I did like try and,
You can't, dude.
that's kind of hard to turn.
I know, that's what I was testing. It went, which,
See,
it went this way.
I think we get a control camera.
Mhm.
We put it on a handle. We have Leah walk through this by herself.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do
I
it.
got
See if
the
she's
one
cool.
on the handle.
I don't want this.
So we would like you to go up by yourself with the GoPro and walk through that area.
Here's the
And
thing
then,
though, like we're not like asking, like you just gonna like go up, you have to.
I am like literally sweating.
It's for science,
A little bit.
so just go do it, all right?
Oh my God.
All right, be a team player here. all right?
I'm
We're
literally,
just- I don't-
okay, I will stay as long as I can
told
stay.
you, I told you. It's
If
so
I get
annoying.
We're
legitimate.
right here, and you call us. We're right here. We'll run up.
It's a few steps up, all right? Just.
We're not far.
All right, guys, I will give it a freaking shot.
Oh, thank you so much.
And-
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
My God, thank you so much, Malia. Thank you so much. Just get the camera, go up. You'll be fine. Nothing will.
It's still rolling, right?
You don't understand.
With my butt, I
I don't
clenched
want to
my
have an
butt so
actual
tight.
panic attack, which
you
might
put-
happen.
Well, if it does, we'll help you out.
You're not gonna have a panic attack. What's there to panic about? They're not gonna do anything to you. They just scare you, and it's just, it feels weird. It just feels like someone's stalking you in the middle of the night,
Which
It's
is
about-
actually my worst fear in life, and I'm not even exaggerating.
Sharks are way scarier. I promise you.
We got you.
It'll be okay.
All right, so this is this right here, right? So just walk
It's
with
probably
this,
a
just
kid
hold
ghost.
it.
Just kick it if it does anything.
Oh my God, can you just stop talking, please?
You've never hit a kid?
All right, well, I'll walk as much as I can.
Just a little
Okay.
bit. Just a little
All
bit.
right.
You want to walk here, or you just want to yell?
Just scream.
I think we'll hear.
Yeah, that's probably true too.
All
Can you
right.
just shut
Be
the
safe.
fuck me, man. Fucking assholes.
Make sure you walk the labyrinth of the halls up there.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, good luck,
But
Malia.
every part.
Oh my
every part.
God.
Make sure you get it all. And walk slowly. Don't shake the camera.
Guys, I'm literally, this is like Preston Castle all over again.
All right.
You okay?
I like literally, like I am not fucking exaggerating. Like everything is like, do not fucking go up there.
You serious?
I literally have not felt this all night. I swear to fucking God.
Well, see how far you can get.
Yeah. We'll come up right away. That's not. All right. I feel bad now.
I'm gonna sit on the stairs right here.
Yeah. I'll be on the other side, Malia.
So I'm in this office. Fucking what the fuck? Shit.
So right now we have Malia upstairs, walking by herself, and what we're trying to do is test this theory about, does fear kind of permeate the environment? Does a belief of something scary or the fear within itself, does it somehow change the environment? So we're not trying to torture Malia here, it's not the point, but what we're trying to do is see if her anxieties and her fear of being up there alone, if that will change the environment. If we get some kind of environmental changes within that, it would be, an interesting test for the theory. So if there's data associated with that, it'll be a win. So hopefully it goes well. So we'll see.
We're fine. Oh shit. Okay. Somebody in here with me? Hi. Guys? I'm getting a lot of hits in this room. I'm getting hits. Yeah. Are you here? I'm getting that heat again. Fuck. Okay. Is anybody in here? Hey guys.
Yes.
I'm like getting really lightheaded.
Okay, let's get you down.
Can I get a little bit of a light on the stairs?
Yep, I got you.
don't wanna. It's weird. I'm okay
You
on
okay?
this. I'm okay here. Every time I've tried to cross this threshold, I get a fucking head wave. I'm talking like full spin.
Oh my gosh, and how far did you get?
I get to about like past right here.
And it happens?
Yeah,
Okay.
like full spin. It's really weird, but I wasn't getting anything else left. Like once you guys
Okay.
left, I wasn't getting anything else in that room
All right.
or up here at all.
Let's get you down then.
I'm just kind of processing. I have never experienced anything like I experienced upstairs, like ever. And I've been a lot of spooky ass places and a lot of places that have like really dark history. This place does not have that. It doesn't. It's supposed to be welcoming and happy. And what I felt upstairs was not welcoming and it was not happy. And I felt like unsafe isn't, it's the closest word I can come to. It doesn't exactly express how I feel. It feels like as like, you know, like a woman when you're walking alone to your car and there's that shady dude that's like walking and too close and you're like, this, I might get bad.
It's rare to experience nearly all of the claims associated with a location during the course of a single investigation. But that's exactly what we found at Speed Mansion. While the KICAD staff believes their strange encounters are related to Hattie and the home's connection to spiritualism, it's difficult to answer definitively, but APRA did log significant changes in the environmental data, while documenting identical experiences from some of the most credible witnesses we have spoken with to date.
The story is the evening of May 16th, 1893, he was in his rooms at the Galt House when a knock came at the door and Maggie Payne pulled a pistol out of her purse and shot him through the heart. And he died on the spot. The family was so scandalized, they put his body in a pine box and they sent it back to the family estate. And they told people that he had died of a heart attack. He is like one of the oldest ghosts that's supposedly, been documented in the neighborhood. And so for years, that was the legend, and that's the story that's been passed down. His ghost returned to Central Park, the old family stomping grounds, to kind of do penance, knowing had he led a more upstanding life, he might not have met such an untimely demise.
From this side. Mustafa, don't kill us, please.
What are you talking about? You want to like this? No, this thing has no pickup, dude.
God, the camera's all flying around.
They're gonna have a tank of gas.
I know, right? Serious. All right, so DuPont Mansion, great place. A lot of crazy stories, amazing history associated with Louisville, but in Kentucky in general. Malia, what do you know about the place?
So the DuPont Mansion is, from my understanding, the last existing home the DuPonts actually lived in. So the DuPonts are, you know, this incredible entrepreneurial family. They're mainly known for living in Delaware, and they had hands in every kind of business. And it's really interesting because no historian really exactly knows why the DuPonts made their way west, but you know, it's the mid 1800s, a lot of people are making their way west. But what they think probably happened is because there was so many DuPonts, like this family's freaking huge, and all of the businesses in Delaware were just like overcrowded with them. And so you have Alfred DuPont and you have his cousin Charlie DuPont that I think just decided, you know, there's not enough business for us here in Delaware, let's go west. So they come out to Louisville. All the while, just keep in mind, like, he's not married. Like, he's just, I think he's one of those like entrepreneurial dudes that's just like, his head is in the game. Like, he's just focusing on work, where Bitterman is like, yeah, work is cool, but also like, look at this really pretty lady. So he ends up getting married.
Mistake. Alfred had the right idea.
Jesus
getting
Christ.
stacks instead of getting hitched. I like him, man. He's cool. I hope it ends up well for him. I'd love to hear more.
I mean, not kind of. So you have their mother is this just kind of, I hate to say it, but she's like a very overbearing mother, and she really kind of picks on Bitterman. So they have like the main family estate, which they call the castle in Louisville. And that's where Bitterman keeps being forced by his mother. Keep in mind, he's married, he has children, and his wife, I mean, his mother's like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Europe for a while. So like, I need you to like leave your house, which she's now bought a house. It's like, drop your house and move into the family estate. This happens 3 times. All the while, Alfred's like, screw this noise, I'm just gonna chill in the hotel. But eventually, when he does buy the railroad, he ends up buying a couple extra properties, and they do purchase what we're going to, which is what we call the DuPont Mansion, which was never really inhabited by any of them full time. It was really kind of Alfred's crash pad when he didn't want to stay at the hotel.
This guy, everything I hear about this guy just makes me like him even more. He just has a house and doesn't live in it.
His story gets better though. Like, he is kind of a badass. So, and then also it's for like family members that come and stay, which sounds like to be a lot because they can't seem to get rid of family. But drama hits the family big time. So first, Bitterman's wife dies, giving birth to their last child, and he's devastated. Then 1893 comes around, and even though Alfred's not married, the man's getting off because he's got a little mistress at the brothel. So I love this because I love a brothel. Her name is Maggie Payne. Supposedly, allegedly, she has his child, and he ain't paying up. Which, to be honest, I would also be pissed because the man's got bank and he's not paying child support. So in 1890,
listen to Alfred's side of the story on this a little bit.
Well, Alfred's not gonna get a side of the story because in 1893 he shows up at the brothel. She comes out. She's like, "Where's my money?" And I'm assuming this is just me adding verbiage. He's like, I'm not paying. Like, that's not my child. And she just shoots him. She shoots him dead. She shoots him dead at the brothel.
Wow.
And totally. And the family is like, oh shit, obviously, because this is an affluent, I mean, Louisville, I mean, if you're not familiar with Louisville society, like, it's, etiquette is everything.
And the Gold House, you know, where he was shot at, is on one of the main streets through Louisville at the time.
Craziness. So it's absolute craziness. And the family covers it up. They basically tell everybody it was a heart attack. And they have a family friend who just happens to be the doctor that wrote up the death certificate stating that it was of natural causes. And eventually, around the 1930s, the truth actually came out that no, he was actually shot by his mistress. So that, in a lot of ways, ends up being this downward spiral for the DuPonts at that time. Bitterman ends up moving back to Delaware in like the late 1890s. His brother's dead, his wife's dead. He's like, screw this place. And a lot of the DuPonts in the next 10 years will leave.
My name is Christopher Porter. I am the innkeeper here at the DuPont Mansion. I've been here 5 years starting this month. Well, I've always worked in the hospitality industry, but after I met the Warren family, they asked if I would come visit one of their properties and consider being the innkeeper for them. And at the time, I had known about Old Louisville, but I didn't know much about the history behind the DuPont Mansion or their other property across the street, the Bourbon Inn. And I walked in the doors and just fell in love and gave it a shot, and here I am 5 years later. Within the first month or so of living here, people had told me, oh, have you heard about the DuPont? It's haunted, or there's things that happen there that are, not so normal. And I took it with a grain of salt, and when you live here alone, you start thinking, or you get a little paranoid at night after you're told so many times that you're gonna hear or see things, but nothing happened the first month or so, nothing. It was very quiet. I didn't have any issues. And then in October of the second month that I lived here, I was asleep. It was 3 a.m. in the morning, and I had read previously that Mr. DuPont was a very jovial guy, that he loved to play tricks on coworkers and friends, and he was a trickster. And everybody knows that person. They've worked with somebody like that. But the night that this happened, we were completely full as a bed and breakfast. It's 3 a.m. I live on the 3rd floor, and in the middle of the night, out of nowhere, this alarm clock goes off. And it's one of those alarms that's, and I'm like, whoa, the whole house is gonna wake up. I gotta find this alarm clock. So I go through the house quietly, through the halls, and I'm trying to find it, thinking maybe a guest hadn't come home yet. They left their alarm on. It was in none of the guest rooms. And I thought, is it on the 1st floor? So I come down to the 1st floor, and I'm looking around, and I couldn't find it. So I thought, well, maybe it's in the basement. So I opened the basement door, and I put my head down the stairwell, and sure enough, it was down in the basement. And I'm thinking, well, who's been in the basement? There's never anybody in the basement but me or the housekeeper, and she wouldn't go down there. And I walked down the stairs, and sure enough, there was an alarm clock plugged into the outlet, sitting in the middle of the hallway down there. I thought, oh my God, who did this? So I turn it off, and I roll up the cord, and I put it back on the shelf, because we have a lot of equipment that we retire down there, and walk back upstairs, get back in bed. I roll over, and I'm like, oh, thank God that's over. Nobody got up. And all of a sudden, it went off again. So the next morning, I come down for breakfast, and the guests are starting to arrive, and I'm like, good morning. They're like, oh yeah, good morning, Chris. Thanks for getting that alarm clock last night. And I said, yeah, no problem. And then he said, and what was up with that going off again? Did you hear it go off again? And I'm like, yeah, I did actually, but I was trying to play it off, because you have guests, and you're just trying to maintain some composure, but I knew exactly what had happened. And went on with breakfast, and then after breakfast, I thought, I gotta go back down and see if that alarm clock's still on the shelf. Sure enough, it was. Hadn't moved. It was unplugged where I'd put it. If there is an entity here, I believe it to be Mr. DuPont, because he would be very pleased with, the number of travelers that are coming through, the different people and personalities. It would bring him joy to be around them, because he loved to go to the Galt House Hotel after work every night and have oysters and steak and, be amongst the people.
The DuPont brothers, they quickly established themselves as kind of movers and shakers. They were well respected in the community, and they were seen as astute businessmen. Brothers Antoine Biederman and Alfred Victor DuPont resided in a brick mansion that stood at the center of what is today's Central Park. Back then they called it DuPont Square. But they were well-known characters around town. Alfred Victor DuPont, people tended to call, they called him Uncle Fred. And supposedly he had kind of a penchant for the ladies. He was a bachelor. He liked to frequent the brothels, the bordellos that downtown were mostly along the river. But he was quite wealthy, but people always commented that he never dressed like he was a very wealthy man. His tuxedo that he always wore was often threadbare, and some people, they never suspected that he was a rich man upon first sight, but he did have quite a lot of money. So there's a lot of questions about this current mansion, but what happened is once the DuPont brothers came and kind of established themselves, family, friends, and relatives followed. And so there were several DuPont houses here on 4th Street, and from what I heard, this was one that was kind of built to accommodate all the business associates that came to Louisville back in the day, and family and friends who would come into town because of their business associations. but they say Alfred Victor DuPont didn't like to spend too much time out here because back then, that was 2.5 miles from the river. That's where downtown was, and that's where all the good brothels were. And so they said Alfred Victor DuPont had a permanent suite of rooms at the Galt House, the most luxurious hotel in the region at the time, so he could be closer to the bordellos and the brothels, or whatever euphemistic names you'd like to give what many just called whorehouses back then. It's been said he haunts this mansion. It's been said that he haunts Central Park, where the mansion once stood. But the story is, the evening of May 16th, 1893, he was in his rooms at the Galt House when a knock came at the door, and it was Maggie Payne, his mistress at the time. And Maggie Payne was a well-known madam. She ran a bordello at the corner of York and A Street. And the legend says she arrived to announce that she was pregnant by Alfred Victor DuPont, and she arrived to demand that he acknowledge the child and bring it up as his own, raise it as a DuPont. Supposedly Alfred Victor DuPont, being the upstanding man he was, said no, and Maggie Payne pulled a pistol out of her purse and shot him through the heart. And he died on the spot. The family was so scandalized, they put his body in a pine box and they sent it back to the family estate. And they told people that he had died of a heart attack.
Okay, Gail, if you wouldn't mind just starting with telling us who you are and your relationship with this gorgeous home.
I'd be happy to. I'm Gail Warren. My husband, Herb Warren, and I have owned the DuPont Mansion since 1999. And this home is fabulous. It is extraordinary. And the house spoke to me in the beginning. And let me tell you how that happened.
Yeah, I would love to know what you mean by that.
My husband and I walk in the neighborhood a lot. We love this neighborhood with this beautiful Victorian architecture. And this house was in very sad shape. The iron fence had been run into by a vehicle, so it was bent in. The front porch had fallen away. It looked so sad and not loved that I kept walking by it, and I felt this pull. So I said to her, let's just see who owns the house. See if we can get in the house. So we did, and as soon as I walked in the front door, the house spoke to me. And I knew I was going to buy this house come hell or high water.
Oh, wow.
It was part of my being. It was part of what I had to do. I truly felt that the house, or someone in the house, had picked me. I'm going up the front staircase, and one of the painters that's on the second floor said to me, Gail, look behind you. I look behind me and I see only half of a person.
What? Which half?
The bottom half.
Okay.
And this is obviously a gentleman in black dress pants. And as soon as I looked, this person was gone as soon as I saw. So there have been more sightings of men in the house than women. I have been told by guests in the Edison room when they are shaving in the bathroom that there's a reflection behind them of a man in Victorian dress, top hat all the way down.
Now, one of the things that we heard was people have a sense of losing time here, and not like, oh, I'm having such a good time and I've lost track of time, but truly kind of feeling like they're in another, I don't want to use the word dimension, but just kind of like operating on a different plane, like time exists a little bit differently here. Have you ever experienced that, or have you heard anybody talk about experiencing that?
I have experienced that myself. And it is, it's really hard to explain because it almost feels that time slows. and it almost as if you're looking from somewhere other than here.
Interesting.
And yes, I have experienced that. And it's all good. It's just looking at time in a different perspective.
We begin our investigation in the basement to log its environmental conditions. Mustafa and Kevin look for high EMF, which could explain reports of paranormal activity in this area.
Let's get this a little moodier, huh? Kevin. Alone finally. We should see where we can set that. Apparently they didn't want, like, you see these holes in these doors? Like, you come out, like, they had these holes in these doors because men and women that were staying in different rooms, yeah? So they didn't want men and women like co-mingling, you know? So they would come over here and be like, hey, no pee-pee touching or like whatever. They just want to make sure they're not doing anything. I've had experiences with holes in doors, way different reason. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. And if you see there's a bunch of like hollowed out like holes in doors over there. I don't know why they would have them though. I don't think it's a spy on folks. That's my first thing that comes with. Oh, what's this? See, the higher you go, that's because of the exposed wire, I think. So I think any gnarly feelings that people have down here is more than likely a result of the EMF.
I have a data logger, and what I'm going to do is I want to set it over on the bar. And this way, it'll just kind of monitor everything they were talking about, like the different actual environmental, conditions. And these things are, from what I understand, pretty indestructible. They're meant to be buried there for farmers, so they should be very accurate and it'll be interesting to see what they get. And I also have a motion detector. This place feels distinctly different than everywhere else we went to in season 1. And I think the reason why is, even though we're in this beautiful mansion in Old Louisville, this place was never really meant to be a permanent home. So from its existence, it was kind of always meant to have travelers. Even when we did other places that were hotels, they still had a family that lived in them full time. The DuPonts never lived here full time. And what I think is so interesting is, in my gut feeling kind of tells me, is if there is somebody here, especially the person who apparently likes to touch females, I don't think it's Alfred. It could be, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of people that have been here and stayed here. So it could be any of those people. So I don't know. I don't know. It's like my instincts tell me Alfred's chilling in the park. And this place, I don't know, it just feels, I don't know, it feels really welcoming and comforting to me.
Hey guys, I just want to give you a heads up that the temperature has dropped 5 degrees on the data logger since you guys got in there.
Copy. So the temperature.
5-degree temperature drop since we've been down here on the drop that they're registering upstairs.
That doesn't make any sense. If anything, it should increase because you got 3 people down here.
Yeah, body heat.
I mean, I give off a lot of heat, let's be honest.
And I'm sweating now that you walk by me.
Oh, Kevin, please, come on, man. We gotta focus on the work. All right, let me put this down here. Down this hallway. So that's something that we've noticed a lot of times. Whenever there was weird stuff going on, it's almost always accompanied by cold sensations, cold feelings, right? And it's not like it's normal over a long period of time, right? For the temperature to slowly go down in increments, 0.1, 0.2 degrees. But for it to drop 5 degrees.
In what, we've been down here 5 minutes?
Yeah, if that.
It just feels so calm. Is there anybody else here? This is a pretty cool room. Was it always a lounge? It might have been. Chris was saying this is where they did business, so that is set up like a dining room. I think that would have always been a dining room. We have a parlor. Maybe, actually, what if this was like Alfred's office?
It's normal for temperature to drop progressively throughout the night because things get colder, right? Like 0.1 degrees, 0.2 degrees, like every few minutes. But how long were we down here for?
We've been down here, what, maybe 5 minutes, and it's dropped 5 degrees?
That's pretty insane. It should be hotter, you know,
Right.
because we're down here and I'm breathing all over the place. Just had coffee, had a good lunch, giving off some excess heat. Thinking about you.
And like we said before, these devices aren't made for investigating. These devices were recommended by the National Weather Service, and this is what they use out in the field as well. So they're not made for paranormal investigating at all.
If we can monitor and document strange activity in accordance with like environmental changes with this, that's pretty legit. I don't know how much more we can go about documenting it.
I'm just really curious why you never married. It's not like you didn't have the time. You made time to go to see supposedly Maggie. Maybe it's a commitment thing.
Malia's lav mic picks up a direct response that appears intelligent. The unexplained voice speaks the very moment we log a 5-degree temperature drop in the basement.
Let's set this down, and then.
Oh, you just got temperature change.
Hey guys, the temperature is still changing up here on the data logger.
Dude, our temperature was changing on the EDI as well, right when you said that.
Dude, look, I'm starting to get chill bumps.
What's causing that? And around the same time, you heard the noises up in that parlor.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna go set this down, and let's start talking about our pal Alfred, because that's who everybody thinks is here, right? We'll go this. I'll be setting this off. Boom. Let's just leave this bad boy here. Stay in the hallway. Let's give it some space. We'll go back and camp out over there, right? Just watch out for this motion detector.
I got total chill
right?
bumps right now.
There's no reason why that temperature should be dropping with us next to it. It should be increasing.
Yeah.
I'd like to say like I thought of that and was thinking like let's stay by it and let's see if the temperature drops. I didn't. That's just how it happened. Alfred, are you down here? Christopher Porter, who works here in this in the mansion, he loves this place very much, and he's talked glowingly of it. If there's anybody who's here who'd like to speak with us or tell us about their time here.
I wonder if Alfred is here, if it bothers him that there is so much controversy surrounding his death, like so much controversy. Like we still don't know definitively if he died of a heart attack or natural causes or if he was shot. You know, it's like it seems like just when somebody thinks like, nah, this is it, they're like, wait, never mind, because this, you know, maybe it wasn't. And ultimately we'll never know, like we'll never know. Was he the kind of person that would care? Did it flicker again? Is it like...
It's just going off.
That's really weird. Yeah, it's definitely... I don't know. Yeah, they're both doing it. My eyes are tripping out. Did it start going off when I was talking about...
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Just now, yeah.
They stopped, huh? No, that one's still going. If somebody is here with us, could you walk in front of this device over here? Oh, weird, I'm getting that weird. Ow. Oh, that's really weird. I haven't had this happen since the Jesse James room.
Emily was telling me something interesting in there that I think we should talk about.
Okay.
So, Malia, when you were in there with Emily, what were you guys feeling?
Well, personally, I was feeling like, especially the main area of the bedroom, I felt okay, but it's when I walked into the actual bedroom part, it felt like a hot sauna, like the density of like a hot sauna, and I just felt like this intense like pressure, and then my freaking hands started tingling, which was weird as hell, and I just felt like incredibly unwelcomed, like it was just heavy, like incredibly uncomfortable. Like I'm getting like a bad pain in my hand and a tingling going all the way up. Wait, that's really weird. That's really weird. Wait, that just went off. Is somebody here? If somebody's here, can you walk by that again and make that go off? What the fuck? Dude, that's like my heart's racing so fast. Like that really, like what?
I left the nerve center to join Mustafa and Kevin in the basement. The events that followed would change the course of our investigation of the DuPont mansion.
Somebody said something was behind him in the hallway.
What? Something's back there? Get that on camera. So we got... What did you just film?
Who's in here with us?
Hold on. Let's get that on camera.
I was coming.
Hold on, kill that timer real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm killing it. Okay, so I was walking through to come find you guys, and as clear as day, there was like it was a pressure on my back, like a
Pressure change, right?
Pressure
As you say
changes.
that.
Yeah, dude, it was gnarly. We were about to close out, and I went there and I felt it, and I just wanted to make sure somebody else felt it. So thank you. I'm not crazy. That
No, you're
validates
not.
what
There
I
was a
felt.
firmness on my back as I was walking up here. It felt like there was like a person behind me, like someone walking behind me, and it was right after Josh just went upstairs, so I was alone down here.
Ooh, again, pressure and temperature increase.
Me and my second ran down to swap the media cards on ACAM, and when we went down there, I heard Mustafa and I think Brandon and Kevin all down there just like emphatically talking, and as I was coming up to like inform them that we needed to swap media, I crossed the threshold to the side of me, and right as I passed through that doorway, it was like when somebody stands next to you at the corner store too close. It was like someone was like breathing down my neck, but without breathing. It was just a mass that was behind me.
I think we're gonna head back into this room where we were starting to have some kind of what seemed like communication, and we'll see what happens going from there.
I just walked through there. I feel like it moved.
Okay, let's head back down there. Just to
You go and see if you feel anything.
So here's the thing, right? Let's break this down in like the most simplistic terms, right? When you're downstairs in a basement by yourself, you're gonna get freaked out, right? It's one thing to feel freaked out. It's another thing, right, to document environmental changes while that's happening. So when two people were down here, I felt it kind of like first initially, and I told you guys we were gonna be done investigating this for a little bit, and then Kennedy felt it down over there. I felt it here. And then when I came back down to get the Kestrel, this was going nuts and it was popping off, and I could feel like something was behind me. Now there's a lot of people here. I don't feel that. Theoretically, does fear affect the environment? I don't know. Or is it kind of more in line with everything that Christopher's saying, which is this is somebody who's a prankster and he likes to kind of trick people, he likes to kind of mess with them and freak them out. I'm kind of thinking I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is. I want to believe it's the latter, you know? But I do find it interesting that I literally was just talking about walking through the park, and like the scariest thing to me is somebody standing right behind me, and Kennedy and I kind of laughing about that, and then us being down here, and that's what we both felt, you know? And we got environmental changes. Plus, I'm really happy because H6 was there the whole time.
Okay, good. Kevin headed up to the third floor to conduct an EMF sweep.
Sticking around at like a 0.6 right now, 0.5, 0.6. Hello? Alfred? Ooh, just hit a... Jumped up to a 3.1 and it's not from moving it. If you're in this room, will you come up and touch this piece I'm holding in my hand? Why am I hitting a 1 point? Right here, it's hitting, it just hit I have no idea why this just hit 9.8. I'm gonna have to ask about this. I have no idea why in the middle of a room it's hitting such high EMF.
Should I ask him a question?
I don't think it's from the camera. Nope. 0.4. Now it's not doing it.
Over the bed.
It's like right here. I don't know what it's hitting on.
Dude. Which way do I turn again? This way?
To the left.
God damn it. All right, we're fine. Oh, Jesus. Okay, where's the motion detected light? Is it here?
It should come on at the bottom of the stairs, but it's not coming on now.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Keep going. There's no light.
We're fine.
Necessary.
Okay. Okay, putting the data logger right here. Good Lord. Okay, I am going to... I like literally at this point, I don't know if this is like thought form manifestation, but I really don't like being down here. That's fine. It's fine. We're just in a basement. It's okay. We're fine. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like... I am having one of those moments where every part of me is like, you probably don't want to go in that room. Do you feel anything weird? Am I in my head?
I mean, I feel okay, but I've been down here a couple times.
All right.
So it might just be me becoming acclimated.
That could be. Okay, I'm gonna enter this space. Mustafa talked about feeling like somebody was walking right behind him, and I do not feel in a space where I want to have a vulnerable place behind my back. So I'm just gonna chill here. If anybody's down here, my name is Malia.
So now we have a baseline on there, 0.4 to 0.5. So if, let's say, someone is in this room and you are affecting the tri-field, can you go up and touch it and make the numbers go up even higher than they are? All you have to do is just hit a 2.7. It was baselined at 0.5 for how long? And then as soon as I say that, it jumps up to a 2.7. Look, again, 0.5, 0.6. Let's try that again. If you are someone that's in here with us, will you go up and touch that meter again and make the numbers go up even higher?
I feel like I'm calming down. I'm not feeling as like freaked out. I was really in my head before coming down here because of the experience the guys had, but I actually feel kind of okay. There are parts of this basement though that I truly do not feel comfortable wandering into. I mean, it's a vastly different environment down here, which is interesting because There's some rooms down here where they know people slept, some of the people that would have worked in the house. There really is no evidence to say that it was enslaved people that ever would have been here. We do not think the DuPonts had slaves.
Can you make that go to double digits? It's at a 0.5. Can you make it go up to a 10? Go up and touch it, knock it off the dresser. I want to see how high you can make the numbers go. That was only a 2. 2.3. Come up and give it a good hit. Four. That was a 4.1 I seen. Okay, now step away from it. Can you step away from it and let it baseline again? What is causing this? Dude, it peaked 10.5.
I looked away, I didn't see it, but I got it on camera.
I didn't see it on here, but I seen it on the peak where it shows the most recent peak. The EMF was here. I don't know what's causing this. Well, I guess I know which room I'm sleeping in tonight. Right here.
Myself, Mustafa, and Kevin stayed alone on location for the night. With the crew gone, we run EMCCD tests in the basement to collect further data.
Yo. How's it going? So it was kind of weird. So down here, without the motion detector light on, obviously. I'm looking down there, and it looks like it's like a blue glow. And I start looking around. I'm like, okay, well, is there any piece of equipment that can be casting like a blue light shadow on here? There's nothing. You know, there's nothing on me. Or there's no electronic equipment here, and I'm looking around, and then the blue light, as it's going on, start getting just pressure hits on the EDI. And then I look back and I'm just thinking, like, the light was it was like dim, and then it just stopped. Yeah, like right now it's feeling a little colder, hairs are standing up on my arms. I don't know though, but I want to see if that correlates with any environmental changes. And again, boom, right there, right when I freaking said that. See?
Yep.
Always happens. It keeps going off. Right when we're like leaving the room.
You in here?
Alfred, hello?
What's going off still, dude?
Are you setting that off on purpose? It's almost as if when we leave, that's what I experienced when I walked. Okay, it keeps going.
We're right here. We're not here to disrespect you. Thank you. Can you clarify one more time if this is you changing the environment? Thank you.
Sometimes you find out new things that kind of dispel the myth that's been around for generations. And from what we can tell, it looks like Alfred Victor DuPont was not shot by Maggie Payne. A lot of the misinformation can be traced back to an article written by the Cincinnati Enquirer, who kind of perpetuated the falsehood that he had been shot by his mistress. The Cincinnati Enquirer, to the contrary, was not beholden to them. They had an axe to grind, and supposedly they perpetuated this false story about Alfred Victor DuPont being killed by a mistress, being shot by Maggie Payne. And so that is that's the grain where things started to go, down the wrong path and came ingrained in local legend.
The DuPont Mansion is the 4th location APRA has investigated in Old Louisville where we documented strange phenomena. It's also the 2nd location in the area where parts of the purported history were incorrect. Can a haunting be born out of the repetition of myth and rumor? Or is Old Louisville truly America's most haunted neighborhood? Our experiences and data suggest that something otherworldly is manifesting, making a strong case that Old Louisville may very well be America's most haunted neighborhood.
The house is one of those places that you never know what you're gonna get. And we tell everybody, don't focus entirely on the house because it's the entire property. A lot of shadow play, a lot of disembodied voices. You'll hear it sounds like furniture moving around, doors opening and closing. People have actually caught pictures, multiple pictures of the mannequins in different positions.
The things that I experienced here has been crazy over the years, but I had a first. I was up in the little girl's room, this flash of light right beside of me, and one other person experienced it, and we didn't have any idea what was going on. Octagon Hall has an activity that I've never seen before, and I've been to hundreds and hundreds of locations. It's almost like this place knows you. When you come here and you really get seated and rooted here, that it remembers you, it knows you.
Octagon Hall. I know, Kevin, you've been here before, right?
Yes, a couple times.
And Malia, I know you've done a lot of historical research.
I mean, honestly, I think this is our most Civil War heavy location that we have been to. I mean, it is smack dab in the middle of it, mainly because the family themselves, the Caldwells, the original owners and builders of the home, were willing to put their entire lives at stake to hide Confederate soldiers. I mean, they literally put their lives on the line because they supported the cause, and you just don't hear a lot about that. You know, you have people that'll leave the area or just kind of like, recede back into the house and just wait for it to pass. They took an active role in helping the people they were believing in, and they had retribution from Union troops. Their water source was poisoned. They broke a bunch of the stuff in their houses. Like, it was just a really bad situation. And then you also have, around the same time, a ton of deaths happening in the Caldwell family. You have the tragic death of the daughter, Mary Elizabeth. What the story goes is she was down in the winter kitchen, which is in the basement of the home, and embers caught her dress on fire, and she would suffer from those burns and die a week later, which is horribly tragic. And they would also lose their 18-month-old son when he fell down the stairs and broke his neck, and I can't even imagine how tragic. I mean, it's the worst thing in life to lose a child, and they lost 2. You also have the death of both of Andrew Caldwell's wives in the home. So it's just like tragedy after tragedy, mixed with all of this war going on, mixed with soldiers dying on the property, having limbs amputated in the basement. It's just, it's a field day, to be honest. It's like pick your poison. It's just bad all the way around.
All right, Barry, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself and telling us your relationship with the Octagon Hall.
My name is Barry Bear Gaunt, and my relationship here with the Octagon Hall is I am the museum director. I've been here at the Hall for over 14 years.
Wow.
And it's a very interesting place.
Yeah, I would say so. I can honestly say that it's imposing. Like, seeing this place off the road, it's like it harkens from a different era. You can feel it, like the property, the home, this is different. Like as soon as you get here, you know you're dealing with something special. It's different, right? So I'm really curious for you. I mean, 14 years is a long time to be the director of a place. What keeps you here?
I love it, Malia. It's one of these places that calls you here. You know, so many people come to the hall and they leave and they don't feel anything, and other people come and it becomes part of their lives. I mean, it actually will. If I feel like, well, if I don't not at the hall, I've got to get here. And I know it might sound strange, but the spirits will sometimes call me here. If there's something that's wrong at the house, I know it at my house.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like you feel like if something's going on here, you feel like you're still connected to it even when you're not on the property.
Oh, yeah. And then when you get into the Civil War, you know, it also is just, I don't consider it to be the Civil War. I call it the war between the states because the history shows me that there was nothing civil about that war. Why
Fair
you
point.
call it a civil war, I don't know, but there was nothing civil about it. And this house proves it and shows it because the tragedies and the terrible things that happened here. You know, you have 9,000 Confederate soldiers coming to this house, and they're all over the backyard. They come from Bowling Green where they were being shelled for 72 hours. And they get here, and there's wounded, so the house automatically becomes a hospital. And when it becomes that hospital, it's downstairs in the basement. And dirt floors, imagine back then. They're bringing in men, bloodied.
It's weird. I've even said, like, this place is kind of putting me in a weird mindset. And there's a, like, it's a really cool place, but I kind of really don't like being in here. Like, there is a true heaviness here that is very different. But I feel like that really makes sense because of everything that you just said. I mean, this place is just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And the house itself is weird. I mean, we're in an octagon house. You don't, you know, there was a moment in American history where those were a fad that was attempting to happen, but there's not a lot of them. I think this is what, one of two that are left in Kentucky?
There's none. This is the only one in Kentucky.
This is the only one left in Kentucky.
Right.
Okay.
An octagon-shaped house is a 3-story brick house with a cupola on top of it. There are 3 left in the country. I believe one's in Virginia, the other's in Louisiana.
Wow.
And this one right here. And it's a marvel. And we find through our research, Andrew Jackson Caldwell, who built this house, is a Masonic member. And he is not only a Masonic member, he's a 33rd degree Mason, the highest that there is. And he incorporates stuff in here. And it's funny, Masons do come into the house. They will never tell you anything. You know, they just look at the house and go, I could tell a Mason lived here. And maybe every once in a while they'll say, you know, he built a spirit trap here. And I tell them, if he built a spirit trap here, it's one of the best ones I've ever seen. Because there is a lot of energy stored in this house, and it flips on and off just like a light switch sometimes. You can be sitting here, oh, there's nothing going on. In the next 2 minutes, the house breaks wide. We have seen full body apparitions, day and night. Shadow figures roam the property and are seen in the property. We are sitting on limestone. We have an underground water source that runs underneath here. It's on a cave system. It is on ancient property. So we had Palo Indians and all the stuff here. So you can just imagine. And the other weird thing about it is it sits at the 37th parallel. There are bone piles of bones and arms and legs of men here. There are people that died here that are not marked, yes. There are also mass graves on the property. When the Union did away with all of the wounded, they just dropped them in a hole, and they're all out here. There is probably more graves on this property also, because we talked about the Palo Indian and the other part of it. There's a mound out here on the property. There are several mounds on this property in the past. So, you know, like I said, you're dealing with ancient stuff.
Billy.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good to see you again, buddy.
Good to
How's it
see
going?
you. Doing good.
Good. What you got for us today?
Oh, we're gonna do some ground penetrating radar. Through the history of this place, you know, we've came across where when the Union came through and was running from BG, or Bowling Green, Kentucky, to Nashville, they stopped here to do their medical treatment to their soldiers, the wounded soldiers. And then after that, as a few days passed, the Union was approaching, so they had to vacate really quick and retreat south. So they said that the Union, when they overtook this place, they actually killed their wounded, and they buried them out here in the backyard somewhere. So we're here to find them.
So right now we have Billy here from the Simpson County Historical Society, and he's brought out a ground penetrating radar unit. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to drag it through the yard out here and see if we can find some of these graves that are unmarked of these soldiers and who knows who else that may be buried on this property. So the graves that are here that we do know about, there's a family plot that's over there that has some of the family members that used to live in the house, and there's also a unmarked slave cemetery that's off to the side with some graves of some unknown soldiers as well. And so there's supposed to be more throughout the yard here, so that's what we're going to try to find.
Now this unit here is actually the radar system here. It actually connects to this cart, and it just drags along the ground. Okay. And then I'll have a unit up here to display all the data that it's reading. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna take a walk forward a few feet, and then we'll stop, pull back, and do another walkthrough, okay? This is more or less taking slice after slice after slice of this general area here, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna continue on here, and we'll push forward, kind of at a slow pace a little bit, until we find something interesting.
My name's Doogie, and you know, I've had a relationship here with Octagon Hall for many years, probably 15 years plus. And my first outing here was just here to look at Civil War stuff, you know, the museum, you know, just to kind of take in the history around Franklin, Kentucky. And boy, did it bloom into something totally different. Octagon Hall has an activity that I've never seen before. And I've been to hundreds and hundreds of locations. And this place brings something totally different. It's almost like this place knows you. When you come here and you really get seated and rooted here, that it remembers you, it knows you.
So this right here is 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet, 18 feet, and 21 feet. Okay. So what's interesting about this little point here is it's like what I call a cross section. And a cross section is where it's showing me that this place, it was dug before, okay? It'll show like layer after layer, but when it crosses at this point right here, it tells me that the ground was disturbed at one point in time. We will put a flag here, yes sir. If you notice, the device has an arrow to the side. We usually just kind of get next to this arrow and we'll come back to it.
My name's Isaac Jones. I'm the executive director of the Octagon Hall Museum and Octagon Hall Foundation. My grandfather started the foundation in 2000, and after his passing, I got control of it. The energy in this house is different on a day-to-day basis, and even on an hour-to-hour or minute-to-minute basis. You can be sitting in here and it all be, you know, happy and, you know, fine, and then all of a sudden it just straight changes and it just gets sad and you start feeling depressed. And you know, there are people that are empaths that can really get us feeling for the feelings that are, or the energy that's there. But even people that aren't can walk to a different room in the house or just wait 5 minutes and the energy completely changes. I have seen shadow figures, just full body apparitions.
All right, now this is interesting here. Let me show you this point here. You see how it kind of humps over? Mm-hmm. That tells me that there is something 6 feet right below our feet, and it's kind of a burial, okay?
So what we just found now, looking at this, being 6 foot below right now, would this be a single grave?
That could be, it's a possible single grave, yes. But again, that's what we got to do. We got to kind of process this out, because we can start at this point, we can go forward, then we'll pull back and go right beside where we just came, and it'll hit again to tell us, you know, how long this little hit is here. So, you know, it could start right here, it could start over here, but.
So based on this right now, you can't tell if it's a grave that's laying this way or this way?
Right,
Gotcha.
yes.
Okay.
The house is one of those places that you never know what you're gonna get. And we tell everybody, don't focus entirely on the house because it's the entire property. I mean, I believe at one point it was 300 acres. We had soldiers from both sides here. A lot of bad things happen, things that we don't talk about.
I was here Friday night for an event before you guys come in, and I got one of the craziest things that had ever happened to me here. I'm in the little girl's room upstairs, and I get this flash of light beside of me, and it was like somebody just had a strobe light. And you know, I've never had that experience before, and so I said, I need to pull my recorder out and do a burst session to see who I'm talking to get validation that there's somebody here. Well, I've got that recorder with me, and I also have that recording.
Was that you that caused the flash right beside of me just a minute ago? Were you trying to show yourself? Can you go out and scare the people in the barn? Can you tell me who's talking downstairs right now?
You might talk to several entities at one time, and then all of a sudden it's almost like a shift or a fog kind of rolls in and things change. You're not getting the same names anymore. You're getting somebody else communicating with you.
When it's a pre-1900 burial site, I come to find out that you see where whoever it was buried is just like, there's no coffin. You know, if they put them in a wood box be deteriorated by now. So you'll see the disturbance in the ground.
So being pre-1900s and knowing what we know about this property, do you think that's possibly a Civil War era grave?
It's possibly, yes, definitely a pre-1900. So, you know, we're looking at you know, anywhere from early 1850s, 1840s, you know, on up. Okay.
Well, looks like we already got something right here.
Right here, okay. So that's definitely a new target for us. So again, it could start from here and go back. So, you know, again, this is just a big process. Well, the data that I've gathered, it's consistent of a burial. The depth and the width. The data is showing that, you know, it is an unmarked grave, and it could be connected to the sightings that are out here. It's a great feeling, but it's also kind of disturbing, you know, because we're creating more history, and that's what I love, is the history of this place.
You'll see them in the house, you'll see them outside.
Sometimes it looks like lanterns, sometimes it looks like a car coming at you, but you know it's just a field out back, and when you start talking about it and you're going, look at the lights, you know, where's that car coming from? Because it looks like two headlights. It'll just disappear. There's no sound to it, there's nothing. It's just two lights coming at you, and then it'll just disappear.
What?
Yes. It's a female, and you can see her popping out. This is two other pictures. It's the same picture. It's just this way. In this picture, there is a picture of a lady here in this house.
Uh-huh.
And that lady is over the fireplace, and she's with Andrew Jackson Caldwell, and that's the second wife.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Union was here, that picture was taken in late 1863. The Union Army, when they were here, she was trying to defend a wonderful housemate of hers. She unfortunately is thrown off. A Union officer yells at her, "You'll never do that again," grabs her, pulls out a saber, and cuts her hand off. So when you look at so when you look at her picture, you're gonna see her like this, and she's like sitting like this, and her left hand is a prosthetic. It's a wooden hand, and it's a larger wooden hand, and her thumb's up in the air. It's which we call push-pull. So when you look at the picture, and if you look at her left hand,
yeah,
you can see how it kind of comes out kind of weird like this.
Yeah.
And if you look how straight it is and look at the thumb sticking out.
Yeah.
A lot of times in a paranormal picture or a full body apparition picture, they don't have name tags. Well, that is almost a sure signal to be able to tell you that that's Harriet Morton Caldwell, the second wife, out in the barn.
very cool thing about this investigation here is the nerve center is a different setup because we were actually tapping into Octagon's DVR system. They kind of run this place as a paranormal research facility in a way. They have cameras literally everywhere, in every room. And so not only do we have full access to that, but we have our cameras as well. So you can see, one is gonna be their full DVR system. 2 is one of our cameras here where these mannequins are said to move. 3 is this room with the dolls. A lot of activity said to take place there. And 4 is gonna be a live view of all of our environmental conditions, which is really great. So not only are we gonna be able to see that in real time, it's being recorded internally. So we have a lot of technology here, a lot of information coming through, and with the place, with as many claims as Octagon has, it's fantastic. We begin our investigation by sending Kevin to the enslaved people's cemetery.
So right now, since there's so many reports of lights and stuff that fly around in these fields, around the cemetery, out of the cemetery, over to the barn, I just kind of want to stand here for a second and just kind of observe the atmosphere before walking into it, just to see if I see anything moving around.
In the autumn room, Mustafa and I test the theory that Masonic practices may be linked to the unexplained activity at Octagon Hall. Alright, you ready for this, man?
Hell yeah, dog. You got the book?
Got it.
Oh, Masonic mysteries.
Alright, so what I'm thinking is we just kind of hang out, enjoy the space, incorporate this Masonic piece of literature, and see what happens.
Yeah, I want to feel like 2 elderly, distinguished gentlemen, Not that elderly.
Not that elderly.
No.
Getting there, though.
Getting
there, for
There's
sure.
some gray in the beard.
I was sitting on this bench, which I now know marks an unmarked grave, which I had no idea until today. I was basically sitting here like this, kind of head down, and I watched in my peripheral a person walk from this tree to this tree. And at the time it was a light colored figure, so I thought it was one of the girls with us because she was wearing kind of a light colored khaki. And I watched it and I looked up waiting for it to come out from around the other tree, and it never did. I looked over, she's still standing over there talking, so I get up and walk over there, and no one is over there at all. So whatever I seen wasn't who I thought it was.
All right. So we have this Masonic piece of literature here. They say that energy throughout this place changes drastically at various times of the day, kind of comes and goes, but we're really gonna hit the Masonic angle now, see what happens. So we're running on a Zoom H6 audio recorder. Pressure right there, pressure. Right off the bat.
Were you a soldier in the Civil War? I just jumped up to a 4.1. Let's try that again. Were you a soldier in the Civil War? If so, please come up and touch this device in my hand. Whoa, did you see that? $11.5?
Going through our process, going through our work, that's when it happens. And that's what Isaac and Bear say. It's like when they're just going about their business and they're doing it, it's like it's almost if the entities are interested. But what I'm interested in finding out is if once we crack this open and we start, reading through it, looking through it, maybe that might kind of churn up some activity that's different from the other stuff we've been experiencing. Theoretically, what if there's like an entity here that doesn't want us talking about it?
Yeah.
Will you come up and touch this again? 5.1. Oh, look at this thing.
All right, so we're gonna try to be as delicate and tactful with not revealing too much. Again, I'm not a member of the Freemasons, nor are you, as far as I know.
Maybe not.
Good response. But let's see if they talked about, I want to know if they talk about spirits, right? Ghosts, spirits, they probably call them spirits in this, right?
Let's take a look. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in the index there.
Whoa,
So.
Templars. That's cool. My dad would flip out right now if he was seeing this book. Oh, he would be like, you got it, how'd you get it? That's how my dad sounds, in case anyone wants to know. Okay, sulfur. Whoa, sun. Oh, sun said to die and be born again at the winter solstice. We'll do spirits and then we'll do autumn, because it's autumn.
It's autumn. And again, this building is built to a specific Masonic belief, right? So you have cardinal directions with each of these rooms, and you have various times of the year associated with that as well. So autumn room, right? And it's autumn, so we're gonna see what happens, but I do think it's really interesting. As soon as we sat down and started to talk about what we're about to do, we did get pressure changes.
So right now we're out in the cemetery. There's no power at all around us, nothing out here that would generate any electromagnetic energy. No cell phone on me. I have no idea what would make this go off like that. If you were a Union soldier, will you come up and touch this device? If you were a Confederate soldier, will you come up and touch this device? If you were not a soldier, will you come up and touch this device in my hand? $3.5. Did you live in this house? Are you in one of these unmarked graves? Whoa, 20.8? Dude, I got like full cold chills right now. 9.7? Okay, so I understand, if I'm reading this correctly, that you could be here with us. Is it possible for you to manifest so that I can see you? I know a lot of people have said that they've seen people out here before. 23.2.
Well, the barometric pressure changed by 7 units on the kestrel, right? So that's like a very, very, very specific and very, what's the word? It's a very accurate device that's measuring that barometric pressure. So an aberration of 7 different units, like within a matter of minutes, is crazy. And it's holding steady at that level, which means that the barometric pressure before may have been like the weird part of it, and then it went back to normal.
It is a little creepy out here after hearing all the stories about what's been seen in this field. Everything from ghosts to balls of light to cryptids to extraterrestrial activity. You just never know what might be standing right behind you. It's like they say, it's not really the dark that freaks you out. It's what lies within the dark that you can't see.
And again, with pressure changes, that's something we've seen with our research, and we've theorized a lot, Mustafa, right? Is that we're trying to see what there is and what the correlation is between what people perceive to be ghosts and hauntings and pressure changes and photon events and EMCCD hits. And yet again, we're testing those theories and having some success, which is great, because that's the entire point of all this, right? Mm-hmm. It's to theorize, try and repeat those results in multiple locations throughout the country. And again, I think we're having some pretty successful, sessions here.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, it's just to talk about it in the most shallowest of terms, right? It's people, they're in the cemetery. They see photon events moving from the cemetery to the barn.
Well, thank you for letting us spend some time with you. Let's head back towards the house. It's been about 45 minutes.
Mustafa and Malia head to the sick room to implement traditional investigative techniques to see if the mannequins move on their own.
Let's set this here for now while you baby powder.
Oh man, I wanted you to know. I resisted the urge to put it on it.
Slap.
I'm not gonna. Come on.
Well,
I don't hit women. I just, verbally tease them.
I feel like this
What kind of racist of you to assume that a Muslim just hits women?
Oh my God, that is absolutely not what I was going for.
That's exactly what it is. That's going in the edit.
Her hands aren't up, so I don't know how to
Hang it off her nose. It's pretty pointed.
That's honestly so rude.
Why?
What if I did it on like
on her
this?
nipple?
No, on those
Come on.
No, because if it shifts at all, this will ring.
Why does she have a clothespin through her nipple? I just talked about respect, and here I go.
Yeah, this is not respect. In this episode, Mustafa learns how to be respectful.
That's not gonna happen. First, I'd like to just introduce myself to whoever's here. Sorry that I've been yapping so much, and if I've been saying some off-color things, but my name is Mustafa.
My name is Malia.
Both traveled from opposite ends of the country.
That's true.
Coast to coast to be here. So thank you for letting us into your home, and if it was against your will and you don't want us to be here, I promise you we'll be out of your hair shortly. And we're just here to document your presence. And we've heard a lot of wonderful things about this place. And sorry, I just lost my train of thought because that mannequin's staring at me. We've heard a lot of wonderful things about this place, and we hope to document your presence here. One of the big claims here is that these mannequins move. Isaac said himself in this area, or no, which room was it? No, it was this room.
I think it's this room.
Isaac said himself that this is the room that always gives him the heebie-jeebies, which is kind of weird because he's been coming here ever since he was a little kid. So, surefire way to find out whether or not, let's not get the Brandon there. Surefire way to find out whether or not something's moved is, you can use a bell and that'll ring and that'll let you know if one of these mannequins move. But people say Bear has said that these mannequins shift. So I'm gonna lay some baby powder down on the ground, and if we see that baby powder move or any imprints in there, then we are going to know that this thing moved.
You know what I was thinking? What might be a good place also for baby powder, if we're kind of just playing with this old school technique, is what if we put some right in front of this closet door here, where the trap door down to the hiding spot for the Confederate soldiers was. I like this. I've never done these techniques before.
Usually I huff paint, but baby powder is way more pleasant. All right.
Just don't know why you need to huff anything.
Mustafa lines the threshold of the doorway to the former Confederate hideout in the hopes of capturing movement.
I will say when we first got here, it felt super, super vibey. It was creepy.
Much. It feels very different to me than it did when we first got here. I was concerned when we first got here that it was just gonna be like too much. I felt like I was in a weird headspace, and I just felt like, ugh. And now I actually feel pretty okay.
My face is really hot. Do you feel really hot?
Yeah, actually.
My face is like super hot. What about you? Your face feel hot? Emily?
Actually, yeah.
Are your my cheeks feel flush.
Yeah, my cheeks feel like they're burning.
Like just right here.
So it's not hot in here.
No,
67 degrees.
And if it's a sick room, it's the room of fever.
Pressure hits when we started talking about the sick person. Are you trying to tell us who this is supposed to be? Would you like to, if you touch that box, could you do it again? We'd like to know who this is supposed to be. Is it one of the Confederate soldiers who passed away here?
Is it Andrew Caldwell?
What was that? I gotta check that data logger, see if that was it. Brandon, what's the barometric pressure levels?
29.31.
Okay.
It keeps changing slightly.
Yeah?
But it's changing.
Yeah, we had a change on the EDI. It was just pressure.
It's getting really cold in this hallway.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because it feels hot in here to me. My face feels hot in
freezing
here.
Freezing in there?
67 degrees because I have a data logger in here.
Uh-huh.
It's 67 even in this hallway, but it feels like way colder.
It's 60. It's like 67.9 in here, and my face feels hot.
Yeah, dude, I'm like kind of burning up.
And I was freezing not long ago.
The pressure's dead even in here and in the room you guys are at.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
29.31 even on both. They're exactly correlating.
I kind of wish I got the nursery, to be honest.
Nursery? Let's go to the nursery.
Let's do it.
So this is a picture. She would have been way younger here, but this is Mary Elizabeth, who was one of the Caldwell daughters, who was, the story goes, she was in the winter kitchen, which is really interesting. They had like the summer kitchen, which was outside, and the winter kitchen, because it was way too cold to be outside, actually in the basement. And the story goes that she was standing too close to the fire and some embers caught her dress, and she suffered burns that a week later she would actually succumb to, which is just absolutely tragic. And I believe it's her that people think they sense in here, and that's why they have balls in here, because people said that she likes to play with the balls. I mean, she's a little girl. It's felt so like, and my face isn't hot in this room either. And I felt not. Is somebody in here with us right now? Is that you, Mary?
Did you guys just hear that?
What?
That moan?
I didn't hear anything in here. Where did it sound like it was coming from?
Like a deep male voice. It sounded like downstairs.
Yeah? I got the sonic from this side of the house, like over here?
It sounded like it was down this stairwell right here. It sounded like it was down this stairwell right here.
Do you want us to go down? First floor?
Well, you're getting hits in there?
No, it stopped. Once Mustafa left the room, nothing else happened.
Yeah, go check it out.
I'm gonna set this right here.
Hey guys.
What?
The walkie was at full battery, just completely, it's gone. I just tried to key into Kevin and it's dead, completely gone.
Yeah?
How are the other batteries on the other devices?
Looking fine on my end, that's the only one.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Where are we getting those environmental changes upstairs?
Mustafa and Malia head to the basement to see if they can correlate the changes in environmental data.
This would have, I feel like, would have been a gathering spot too, because you're trying to stay warm in Is this a good place to get warm? It's getting pretty cold outside.
Or if, I don't know. It's not the warmest over here.
But if there was a fire going, it would be. It's the winter kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why Mary was down here. She was warming herself.
And that's how she caught fire.
Yeah. I think she stood too close to the flame.
She's trying to warm herself up, and that's
Yeah.
what happened. Ah, man, I don't know.
Because she wouldn't have cooked. She wouldn't have been cooking.
The pressure has changed drastically though.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, drastically. Went from 21, now it's at 29. It's gone up drastically, and we'll be able to look at the graphs and charts later, but it went up a lot in a short period of time.
That's weird. So
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, what is this the baseline level of the barometric pressure, and before there was, that's the weird part, or?
I don't know, but when you guys were in here initially, it was fine.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like it's like 7 points. So right now we are heading to the cemetery where Kevin just had an experience with very high levels of EMF in an area that has no power lines, no man-made electricity in any way, shape, or form over that particular area. So we're gonna take the EMCCD camera, try to capture some of these shadow people and shadow figures and light anomalies that they've been seeing. So hopefully it's fruitful. Hopefully we can find something. There we go.
Got it.
Look at that, dude. So we have the EMCCD camera pointed out at this area they call the Deadwoods. We can't get out there, so we're taking this long lens with the EMCCD and we're shooting straight out to that tree line. As you can see, I mean, it's completely pitch black. If you point out there, there's nothing there. You can't see anything. But this camera's perfect. Whoa, there we go. That was weird.
What?
We just had something fly towards the camera right there. 14 minutes and 36 seconds. I'm gonna keep recording because let's see if it shows up again. What the hell?
That looks like exactly what, Billy said.
He saw
when it traveled from here to the barn.
That's where Barry got that really crazy photo, right? The one he showed Malia?
Yeah,
that's where this barn. We know that you have been captured on visual devices before. Could you show us who you are? Show yourself? We see you, thank you. Can you do that one more time, please, if that's not too much to ask?
Sorry if we got excited. It's just that we're really, really, really excited at the prospect of being able to talk to you. And I was just saying, like, it's okay for you to come out.
Oh, there it is again. The same anomaly that we documented in the Deadwoods appears in the barn when asked to manifest.
So I know one of the claims out here is lights and stuff flying up out of the cemetery and all over in the field out there. So that's what we're trying to document with the EMCCD camera, is these lights that appear out in these fields.
It's completely, so this is more of like an observation investigation than like a typical like ask. And
No, something just flew right in front of the lens almost.
Kevin and Malia repeat identical results with the EMCCD camera in the Enslaved People's Cemetery. This is yet another instance where APRA cataloged atypical pressure changes with photon events in the areas that are said to be haunted. One of the intriguing things about Octagon Hall is that it's a prominent Masonic site. And in the past with APRA and investigating for many years, I've been to many historical sites that are also Masonic, from family homes to Masonic temples. Some of the best evidence I've ever captured, some of the most active places I've been, are Masonic sites.
There's a complexity of feelings here at Octagon Hall, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is a working museum. It is chock full of artifacts from the Civil War era.
And if there's one thing that we've found strong evidence for in all of our investigations, it's that an active belief, active in action and in practice, oftentimes correlates with paranormal activity.
You walk into a room and it's just like you stop, you get that sense of being watched, a sense of someone being right behind you. What is it? Where do they come from? Why are they here?
There are many who believe Octagon Hall is a Masonic spirit trap, that its construction invites paranormal phenomena. There is nothing speculative about the multiple horrors the property has seen.
You know that there's several owners of this building over the years. We're gonna start saying some names. Are we speaking with Carolyn right now? Caroline?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So right now we're having direct communication with the tripwire that is showing spikes in EMF, and we're getting direct responses to who we believe is an owner of this building, a former owner.
So this is literally the craziest thing in my entire life. We are getting direct responses to questions. I mean, this is getting very deep. It's getting almost existential at this point.
It's such a privilege.
We're talking to her, man. It's unbelievable. I have no words for it. It's insane. I don't even feel like I'm on planet Earth right now. I don't know what else to say.
Having this new approach is going to be crucial this time around. I would say this specific case with Hall Place is kind of the culmination of our work with APRA, and specifically these 12 cases that we're on the road for now, and these 12 cases that we're currently working. Because, with APRA, not only has it been a huge goal and a huge point of interest for us to return to locations, to investigate locations over an extended period of time, but for us to collect data, for us to come back and really check into our work to see if we're doing things properly. There's something about Hall Place that's, of interest to me, and I think to APRA as well, is that it brings emotion out of people in some weird way. Everyone that comes in here almost has to face things they're going through. I don't know what it is about this particular location or about specific areas within this building, but it seems that whatever someone's going through at that given time, those emotions kind of surface and flood into the situation they're in.
Like our friend Brandon just said right now, we heard that you said you wanted to move on. I personally don't know what that is or what that looks like, and I don't think any one of us here can help you move on.
We need to let her know, obviously, that we can't do that.
Yeah.
But we can try and find someone that can.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult because there's a lot of untrustworthy people
Yeah.
that claim to do things like that. So it's a touchy situation, you know what I mean? So I don't want to give empty promises of any kind.
No.
Yeah. So I think that bringing in Mariah and trying to look at this from a metaphysical and a spiritualist perspective is something that has to be done and something that we're very open-minded to. When I thought about bringing someone to help us and further this promise that we gave to Caroline, who we believe we were in contact with, I knew that Mariah was the person to do it, and I'm very excited to see how that goes tonight.
Hall Place is a tiny little place with a ton of history, and to put it quite frank, it is a place that the Barron County Historical Society has a lot of strong feelings towards. So this is gonna be a little bit touchy just because previous owners have told a few stories that the Historical Society and the City Council have been working tirelessly to correct because it's not true. But just backing up, so the house was built in 1852 by Judge Christopher Tompkins, who is one of those people that didn't really want to be a judge, and he was a great lawyer, but for whatever reason, he kept being put into situations where he became a judge again. He literally kept retiring and then kept ending up in a situation where the circuit court is like, we need you. So this is happening for decades. The dude doesn't want to do it, he's doing it. He also suffers a crap ton of tragedies. The 1830s were a horrible time for him. He loses his wife. He loses 6 of his kids in total. One of his most faithful servants and his favorite horse also pass away. So he is a man that is just full of sadness, okay? But he does have a daughter, Theodosia, and she marries a guy named Dr. James Hall, who is described as having, not a strong constitution. He was kind of a shitty doctor, to be honest. He was okay for normal stuff, but the money was really in surgery back then, and he just couldn't stomach gore, and it sounds like he didn't really want to be a doctor, but there he was.
So my name is Mariah Kunow, and I'm a psychic medium. And I'm here to connect with the spirits, to see what they need to share with me, with us, with the group, and so they can let everyone know their story and what they need to kind of get off their proverbial chest and their emotions they need to share or anything. So I'm here to hopefully tell their story and give a lot of validation for you guys too. I met Brandon years ago, and honestly, I don't even remember the very first place, but I kind of have watched him work and been to a couple events he was in and kind of saw him from afar. And then I would say the past few years was when I actually went on investigations with him in the group. And that's where I got to know him a lot better. And then we just started getting to talk a little bit more, and then suddenly it's, now we're friends.
Charlotte, thank you so much for letting us come back. I am so excited to be back here.
I'm excited to have you back.
I can't believe we were only here a few months ago.
I know, right?
It feels like it's been a really long time, but I have to say this is the thing that I was looking forward to most. I missed you because you're awesome. But this place is just such an incredible place to come and visit.
It is, yeah.
We
Absolutely.
all had a really insane experience when we were here last time.
Yeah, so I heard.
I'm really curious, since we've been here, has anything changed? Has the activity ramped up? Has it died down? What has it been like since we were last here?
You know, it's pretty much been status quo. You know, I still have that crazy light in one of the guest bathrooms that goes rampant. More times than not, the conversation will come up over breakfast. Is it haunted? So it's kind of exhilarating to say, you know, it just so happens we had some, you know, professional investigators here, and yeah, they said they just confirmed.
So you still feel like activity or whoever is here is happiest when there's other people in the home,
Yes, they're
and
very
there is
happy.
a kind of loneliness when the house is kind of dormant.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
interesting. I was really fascinated if that's something that you kept sensing here or if that had changed at all.
Yeah, it definitely prefers people to be here.
I'm honored to be here, and I'm so grateful to be here. And from my understanding is that apparently Spirit asked for and worked with you guys, and I do know is a woman, but she asked for help.
Malia's just really excited, you know, to be able to talk with you, and we all are.
It's such a privilege.
Oh.
Pressure change.
Yeah, it really is such a privilege.
EMF on the EDI, dude. It's the first time we got that. So it's EMF. Brandon has some people he can talk to help you move on and do that. And I won't stop until, you know, we all find somebody that can help you. If you understand that, trust us, we're gonna do everything that we can. There's very few people who are doing what we're doing right now and are able to accomplish what we just did with you right now. So don't worry. I mean, we got this. I'm pretty sure we can find somebody to help you with that, and I won't stop until we do that. I promise you that.
I could also sense that she needed to connect with someone who was living. I do remember that, because lots of times when we speak of spirit, or at least with me, they come zooming in. So I remember the conversation, I could really feel that there was somebody she needed to talk to who was still living. Sorry.
You ready?
Give me a moment for a second.
One of the things that I'm really excited about our investigation tonight is we actually have brought along a medium with us this time.
Oh, cool.
So we're kind of upping the ante, so to speak.
Sure.
And I'm personally really excited to see how that changes the investigation and what we, you know, learn from it.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if there's anything that you're hoping to gain from our investigation tonight.
I would like to have some kind of identification of who these people are. You know, obviously we kind of think that we might know one of them. But then more recently, it was in the Barron County Progress that they printed that Franklin Gorin actually passed away in the home. So naturally some questions. What the heck was he doing here? Is he under doctor's care? Was he actually living in the house?
I feel that my work is like grief counseling in the way where I'm helping the living for whatever reason in a location. A spirit may want to come through and it may heal them in a certain way, but also I'm also healing the spirit, or they need some healing. So it kind of works both ways, because sometimes in locations that I go to, or even with, you know, people I sit with who I bring through their loved ones, them connecting, it's like a reunion. It's a reunion with their loved one.
Hi, Mariah.
Hi there.
Thanks so much for coming.
I know, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
How are you feeling about tonight?
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, seeing who wants to show up and connect, and I'm really looking forward to this.
So am I. I really think that you're gonna be like the thing that changes everything. I've never done this or been a part of anything like this before, so I'm super excited. But I think we should head upstairs because that's where all of our action kind of was. So why don't we just go ahead up there now?
Sounds good. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Blind to Hall Place's claims, Mariah conducts a psychic walkthrough on the second floor with Malia.
I want you just to do your thing, and I'm here to do whatever you need me to do.
So you pretty much want them to lead, okay. So I just tell you what I start sensing and things?
Please, yeah.
Okay. I already know that, I definitely am feeling pulled this way.
Okay.
In this direction, but it's almost like you have a crowd here. I already know that. You have different ones in that, this room behind here, but I definitely am feeling pulled more this way. So
Okay, let's go, yeah.
We should
Absolutely.
go this way. Okay, because I already know that you're the historian, and you hold on. Yeah, they want to go in the back room.
This room?
Yeah, the back.
Okay.
Yeah, here.
All right.
And I know that there's a man here, and I know he's not I feel like he's not talked about a lot. Hang on. Okay. So I feel like there's someone took his I know he liked to drink, and someone took his glasses. I feel like his glasses used to be here, or they were taken. I feel it had his initials on them. I'm not seeing what they are, but he's talking about my glasses. Where are my glasses? Would you understand that?
Drinking glasses?
Drinking glasses.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
That's interesting, though.
Okay, because I feel like someone here would know about them. See, the thing is, there's so many layers here, and each room has a story to tell. And I don't know, because sometimes the floors make things uneven, so there's this kind of bobbing, or I don't know. Let me feel into this. Do you have history in this room? I mean, are there stories of this room? I know I'm asking a question because I feel like there's a woman here. I know that, and she's making me feel. There we go. Gosh.
Oh, it's going off
Again.
Again. Look at 3 of them went off that time. These are high spikes too.
Just to make sure, again, like my friend Brandon said, if you set that light off, that'll let us know that that's yes. And if you don't do anything, that'll be no. So are we speaking to somebody here who owned this hotel? Are we speaking to somebody who's an owner in this building?
Yeah, it just
3
went off
of them.
again. All 3 of those went off. It was a perfect spike.
There's a sadness about her, and there's a longing. So I'm starting to get emotional. Let me feel into this. I know she's like, I'm in here. Hang on, it's in this room. I feel. It feels a little bit that it's residual, but yet, yeah, I feel there's this sadness. Like, why did you leave? There's this longing. Like, yeah, because I'm feeling emotional. It's like, yeah, let me feel into that. Come on. Because I think I'm tuning a little bit to the residual, but I do know there was a woman here who was not. She's just giving me a heavy feeling, a sad feeling. There's a longing. There's a missing. Okay? Because I know earlier there was a woman named I was told Caroline. So I almost feel like this might be her.
Just to clarify one more time, if you're, and the owner or an owner of this building, can you set the lights off again, please? Make them turn on. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
We know that there's several owners of this building over the years. We're gonna start saying some names. Are we speaking with Are we speaking with Carolyn right now? Caroline?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're not frightened or anything. We're just excited to see this interaction. Just so we can clarify one more time, you're an owner of this building? You own this place, this beautiful hall place?
You'll have to forgive us for being repetitive. It's just that we want to make sure that we're communicating with you. So if you could just answer my friend Brandon's question again. Thank you.
Because I just feel the sadness in this room. And I know that there she is. I know she was an incredibly smart woman, and far ahead of her times. I feel like she was quite an independent woman, and I almost feel like that. And I know you can't really validate that, but I know she loved children. But here's the thing: I want you to know that her sadness is just more of that's just part of her life. It's part of her story. She's not sad now, but I think this is just part of her telling you to either validate that's like, yeah, this was my life, part of my life here, and part of a memory. And so that just kind of honors her children, but also honors her experience. And it's now I don't feel much of anything. So it's like a little scene, a snippet. It's going back in time.
It's so fascinating.
After picking up on the energy in the Royce suite, Mariah is drawn to another room with purported activity.
So I know. So I know there's a man. This used to be a man's room because I almost feel like he wants to say, you did not ask permission to come into my room.
I'm sorry.
So I feel like there's a very man's man who's here,
Okay.
who's just very, you stick by the rules, and he's just, he's not a fan of women.
Huh.
He's not a fan of women. Women are in their place, and it's almost like, excuse me, but may I please come in?
Absolutely.
And he'll be like, let me think about it, okay.
As with all locations, there's a ton of history here. A lot of people have come through the doors of this place. And I was really excited to hear Charla bring up Franklin Gorin, who is somebody that spent time here when it was a boarding house, which is one of the many things this house has been over the years. He actually died in the same room as Judge Tompkins, which is the Theodosia Suite. I knew about this when we were here the first time, but you know, you go where the investigation takes you, right? And that just ended up becoming the focus point of what we were really investigating that time. So it's one of those things where it's like my little spidey senses went up when she mentioned him, because I don't think she had a prior knowledge of him having passed here. So it's just like, it makes you wonder. It's like, oh, we're bringing him up for a reason.
Okay, because it was like he was just so aware of that, the clean, because he keeps going, and that's what spreads things.
Yeah.
He's like, even now that's what spread things. He's like, people just don't wash their hands enough.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening.
That's interesting. That's never happened.
Never happened before.
So I had just said his energy's like this, and
Yeah.
so lots of times what that happens is when the energy is strong enough, it'll affect
That
things.
was.
So you have no way of controlling this light. You
No,
didn't press anything.
I didn't press anything, no.
And there's no way for it to have flickered that way out of nowhere?
Just randomly flickering
Nope.
like a weird
There's no
pattern.
reason it should have done that.
Cool.
That is insane. That is insane.
Let me feel this, because I feel like this woman, she used to put on parties a lot here at this bed and this building. And I feel like she loved it. I feel like she not only would she would invite her family, but also outside strangers would come in. Because I know that this woman just loved her parties. And there was the food was important to her.
I think I read something about you making really good, I think it was biscuits. Was it good biscuits that you were known for? Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I wish I could have tried those. I love biscuits.
And it was just, so would you understand this?
Yeah.
Okay. And she loved it, almost like she was a mother to many. And there's a sweetness and kindness about her and a loving. Would you understand this to be Caroline?
Yes.
Yes, I can feel her now. Because I coming over here, I was just kind of like, okay, whoever, Caroline, please. And I know that she loves the group being here. And there's a joy with her, and that you listen to. And I already know you told me that that there was this interaction between, and I know you already told me about the lights, and there's this passion and just this, and I almost feel like emotional, because I almost feel like the group cried at one point. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, because she's like, they all cried, but it was not tears of sadness, but tears of happiness. Would you understand that?
I hope you know this connection that we're all sharing right now is really special.
And I feel like she would appreciate that. And I almost feel like she made you giggle. Would you understand that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like she brought out the little child in you in some ways. There was an innocence.
Yeah.
And like this mysterious, like, wow, like a magical thing with you.
Yeah.
She made you feel things, like question, like, wow, what is this? Would you understand that?
Why am I'm getting emotional again? Okay. What the hell? Damn it.
Yeah. Because I almost feel like that she just wants you to go return to innocence, where she's making me feel like, just be your little, little Malia again.
God, that's so, whoa, sorry, I gotta that's really weird, because it brought up a lot of my breakdown it reminded me of childhood thoughts of of my parents and being a kid, and that's really, really crazy that you said that.
I'm really, truly curious to see if Mariah can provide answers and validation to what we experienced last time.
Really crazy that you said that. That's really crazy that you said that.
And it's almost like just like,
gotta get it together.
Like, don't be afraid of that. And it's just, she's like, it's okay.
We're here because we made a promise. And the promise that we would do whatever we could to try to help Caroline. The theme to me that keeps popping in my head with Hall Place is legacy. And I think Caroline's legacy still survives through Charla.
There's just something special about this place, something special that Charla brings to it. There's a sincerity that, which basically is the basis of the work that we're doing with APRA, right? Is like, we want to bring sincerity to our investigations. And that's something that I think that a lot of people don't have. And especially in their work, and to make that really, really important. And Charla's a person. That's that.
My name is Honor Settle, and my Aunt Caroline Royce remodeled and started Hall Place. All of our family events were here. My wedding reception was here, and we just had a lot of good times here. Caroline was kind of a tomboy growing up, and just climbed trees, and just could talk to anyone, always had short hair, played the violin. She married and had 3 children and raised them, and then her husband passed away, and she decided to take on this adventure and have a bed and breakfast so she could constantly meet new people and share her food and traditions and history with them.
And now I can feel Caroline step back, and he goes, because I feel like she's just such a gracious host. So I feel like, and she's making me emotional, because she's a gracious host for the living, but also for the spirit world.
I was just gonna say, I'm curious, because the thing that, kind of one of the reasons that we're back here is we're not sure if she necessarily wants to stay, but she's here. Do you see what I'm saying?
She has a granddaughter still, correct?
She has a lot of living descendants,
okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, and I feel her husband has passed, correct? Because I almost feel like there's, I almost feel there's maybe that's what she was, there's like a longing to be with him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does,
Because I almost feel like let me feel into that, because I almost feel like something happened, that there was not closure, something that there was something separated between their deaths.
Caroline, are you trying to rejoin your loved ones?
I just feel that there's things that she just wants to tell her family that she wasn't able to say, or she sees it. There's something that she didn't tell her family.
I just got chills. That was one of the things that we felt like, and I asked in this session, I was like, is there anything that you could say in the recorder? Because it seemed like there was something that she wanted to say, and with the devices and stuff that we had, I didn't know how to communicate or get that answer from her.
And I just know she loves being here.
Okay.
I really feel that she loves being here. Brandon mentioned that she wanted to be reunited with somebody.
So when we were having our interaction, it felt like we were getting the strongest reactions when we were asking if she wanted to be reunited with people. We felt, or at least I felt, it was stronger when I mentioned her parents, like being reunited with her family. My biggest concern was that she wanted to move on and couldn't.
Okay.
And I don't know what that means. And if there is a message that she needs to get, like...
You know, here's the thing is, if you pass this on, that in itself maybe allowed her to evolve into that next level. Because I do feel like she's happy here.
Okay.
And just getting those words out will help her evolve and however she needs to move forward with her life and her existence. But she's just like, I enjoy returning. I enjoy being here.
So she's happy.
She's happy, absolutely.
Okay. That makes me feel a lot better.
I absolutely feel she's happy.
Okay, good. I was like,
no.
Like I actually feel like a weight's been lifted a little
Good.
bit. Like I'm very happy to hear that.
And I almost feel like, oh, I'm so sorry I made you all feel that.
Oh.
But no, she's happy.
Good.
And I think she's like, okay, I just needed to get that off my I'm okay. And I almost feel like, well, if there's more, she'll definitely let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like, that's it for now. Yeah.
You know, it's very possible that there's a natural explanation to what we experienced with the tripwire, and in that question and answer session that we had, we could not find it during our investigation previously, but coming in with a fresh mindset, coming in with a new approach, we may find those answers. Obviously, we had this amazing experience last time with the tripwire. I know that, Kevin, you had some hits with the EDI Plus as well. Pressure, right?
Pressure changes once I started talking and asking questions about the attic.
Right, and I know that before everything with the tripwire really kicked off, you and Malia had pressure changes in this room, right?
Yeah, we were walking down over here and I had the EDI Plus and just went down into this room, and then all of a sudden just pressure hits when we asked if there was somebody here with us. So I was like, I invited them to interact with the device. We got a few pressure hits, and then that's when I got the idea. I was like, okay, let's put a tripwire down here. Let's see what we can get. And then that's when all of that whole awesome rigmarole started.
So, you know, obviously this time we went a lot more minimalistic. We don't have the nerve center set up. We're not running all the cameras. Obviously we have some control cameras running that we, you know, it's just protocol with what we do, but we're not running the huge, gigantic setup that we have every time. And having Mariah and Malia do a walkthrough, you know, prior to this is cool. So we're coming up here and gonna see if we can correlate what we had last time. So I think we check out this same area, right? So we do have a separate tripwire that's different than the one we used last time, right?
Correct, yeah. This is completely different. Same thing, but different wire.
So the reason we're doing that is just to double check, you know, check off all the boxes, right? Not using the same tripwire, using a separate one, obviously the same manufacturer, and hopefully the same results, we'll see. But I think we'll go through and we'll add the EDI Plus. I know we had a few EMF spikes on this as well. So this is the exact same area with our last time investigating this exact spot. We had the tripwire running from the headboard of this bed, running all the way through to the end of that hall. And we were not only having multiple hits on the different sensors on the tripwire, but at one point, or a couple points actually, the entirety of the tripwire went off at once. Last time we didn't have any of this, which is really interesting. As we back off here. So look, the highest we're getting is right here around this lamp at like a, you know, 3.6 or so. But as we go along, 0. Little, you know, 9.9, there we go, not much. 1.6, 1.4. And keep going. Zero. That still doesn't, it's a consistent 2, 3 with that lamp, right? So it wouldn't be flashing the way it was.
It wouldn't be flashing, and even last time, I mean, the whole time it was there. Even the one closest to the lamp was not going off until a question was asked.
2.4.
And then we can bring it here. Well, that's weird.
It's right in the pillow, which again is not that high. You know what I mean?
Nah.
2.5 is still not that crazy. There we go.
I'm gonna take this in. I'll take this in down here, and I'll turn it on.
All right, sounds good. Keep going.
Yeah, right in there is where I got the pressure hits. It was in this room. And what set that off, right, what caused Malia and I to go in that room in the first place was we thought we heard steps over there. We thought we heard someone stepping. I guess what we can do is we can wait here a while, see if any of these ones get tripped off, and then if they don't, then we can take that, put it in the area where there's a lot of EMF, and then see if that travels up there. It shouldn't because they're all on separate sensors.
Just hit again.
I hit again, just one of them. So whatever set off each one of these individual sensors down this entire tripwire, it had to be like just one big burst.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's like coiled down and was hitting it individually. They literally all went off at the same time.
Yeah, it went whoosh, all of them red. All the way down to there, it was red.
I understand if that's you kind of making the lights go off by the bed, or that may be natural. Okay.
That's the opposite one though.
Okay. Can you make it go off closer to the door? Can you like walk towards me and make more of these lights go off? Are you the same lady we were talking to last time that makes the amazing biscuits? If yes, please light some of these lights up for us.
Right here in front of you.
Dude, right in front of me.
So Mustafa,
yeah,
right here in past this threshold, the doorway.
Yeah.
We got just one single sensor going off. So we're getting it past the threshold, and Emily thinks that the one under her might have went off as well down here.
Awesome.
Whoa! The whole thing just went off. The whole thing again.
Again?
The whole thing. You got that right?
Yeah.
That was all the way down.
Repeated, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This makes no sense. This makes no sense. Literally makes no sense.
Caroline, was that you? Dude, I get chill bumps
I
on
got
both arms.
goosebumps all over. Yeah.
I have them too.
And it felt like something just went through here. This is what we try to do, man. Like, we came through and we showed every possibility with this thing. Like, what the hell?
And
How long this has been on? We've had this tripwire going for over 35 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
And look, no questions,
nothing.
no responses.
Malia asks questions about food to try and correlate previous findings after her and Mariah joined the investigation.
Maple syrup. Hey!
Holy cow!
Yeah! Me too, Caroline. The marshmallows are too sweet. It's too sweet.
I set this just right here.
Okay.
So it kind of can good
Just
spot,
leave it.
and then we'll set the kestrel drop right next to it.
All right, nice.
And then you want to get that second tripwire out, and we can just lay it out, man. It's worth a shot. You know?
So we have two separate tripwires. This is the first one that we implemented in our investigation, but we have a new one down there that's registering very similar activity that we had the first time. So last investigation, when we split up, we noticed while activity was going on in there, it correlated with activity down here. So maybe we can register some of those same finds that we had. It's all about replication. I think it needs batteries, dude.
What's that?
I think it needs batteries.
All right. Guess I'm jumping just a sec.
You got him already?
Jonathan hooked us up.
Oh, okay. We are good to go. It's on.
Why is it all red? It's not changing.
Wait, what? Can you turn it off and turn it on?
What? No.
Dude.
This is like super.
Brandon, it's going nuts again, man.
Dude, this is like, I can smell it like burning. Listen, this is on fire, dude. It's gonna blow up. Yeah. Dude, seriously, did you hear it sizzling? Hear it? Listen. Dude, we gotta get this. This thing is like a hazard right here.
Let's take it out. Let's take it out.
Like burn. No, don't touch it. It like burn my hand. Listen. Dude, it's like on fire, dude. We gotta get this out of here. Come on, let's get this out of here.
Out the house.
Oh, don't worry. We get this out of the house. Dude, this thing is completely on fire, dude. Dude, can you smell it?
Yeah.
You like burned the shit out of my hand. Dude, it's still making that noise. Don't touch that shit. Seriously, like dude, it burnt the shit out of my hand.
You alright?
No, like it burned me good. Do you have gloves? Dude, like hear that sizzling? See the shit coming out of it? Look at this.
The lithium is gonna pop.
Yep. Yeah, get away from that, exactly.
Yeah, it's like leaking inside that.
Fuck. That was gnarly.
Yep.
Oh, damn, it is.
It's melting the plastic.
Jonathan, we owe him some batteries, man. We owe him 3 of them.
There's like it slides off.
He's pointing it towards
It's probably
us.
melted, dude.
Yeah. Jonathan's like, hey, my batteries.
I know, dude.
We owe. Let's tell Jonathan we're sorry. We owe you 3 batteries. I know they're nice ones, but apparently not that nice. I mean,
Mustafa, Kevin, and myself stayed overnight to further investigate the attic as we logged pressure spikes whenever we referenced it.
Yeah, I was gonna go up in the attic, but that ladder looks not safe at all. So the first time we were here, when I was in the room with the pool table, I started getting pressure hits on the EDI once I started talking about the attic.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
That's over there?
Yeah.
Right above the pool table where I was talking about the attic? I think the best bet is to try to get another type of ladder.
It just died.
You serious?
What the fuck? But it's not dead.
There's a box that's right above the pool table in the attic. Do you know what's in that box? Dude, I just got 4 lights.
What?
Does that box in the attic have any recipes in it? Your 2 lights. I just want to clarify that one more time real quick. Does the box in the attic have recipes in it? Is it safe for us to go up in the attic?
Dude, the camera just shut off again, dude.
What the hell?
Every time we start talking about going out there, it shuts the fuck off.
Really?
Look, I've never had this camera do this ever.
Are you making the camera shut off? And as long as you were just sitting there observing, not asking any questions, nothing happened. It wasn't until you started asking questions that we started getting reactions. And not only that, it was to the point of, if this is the answer, make 4 lights come on. And the tripwire would make 4 lights come on.
In the same way that Caroline thrived on nurturing people and bringing people together and creating a family home for travelers. And I think Charlotte, even though she never knew Caroline, has become an extension of that.
What the fuck is it about this place? It just gets me like that all the time. I don't know, it seems kind of stupid, I guess, but I like it. I like being here.
We return to Hall Place to fulfill a promise, not only to the entity that may be there, but to our methodology as well. Yet again, we documented EMF and pressure spikes with no practical explanation, and Mariah, with limited knowledge of the building's history, corroborated its emotional claims. The box in the attic still remains a mystery, and we are eager to access it safely without damaging the historic structure it resides in.